Welcome everybody to the City Council Budget Workshop of August 4th, 2026. I'll now call this meeting to order. If you will, please stand for the pledge and invocation. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Please bow your heads. Lord Heavenly Father, thank you for everyone who is gathered here tonight, and thank you for another beautiful day in the city of Lake City. And Lord, please help this staff and this dais make all of the right decisions for our citizens, both living here now and in the future. In your name I pray. Amen.
Amen.
Thank you, Ms. Sykes. Sorry for kicking us off without you. But I will now ask you if you'll call the roll.
Okay. Councilmember Jernigan?
Thank you.
Present.
Councilmember Harris?
Present.
Councilmember Young? Carter?
Present.
Mayor Walker?
Present.
City Manager Rosenthal?
Here.
City Attorney Martin?
Here.
Chief Butler?
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, the Lake City Council has opened its public meeting. Since 1968, the City Code has prohibited any person from making personal, impertinent, or slanderous remarks or becoming boisterous while addressing the City Council. Yelling or making audible comments from the audience constitutes boisterous conduct. Such conduct will not be tolerated. There's only one approved manner of addressing the City Council, and that is to be recognized and then speak from the podium. Failure to abide by the rules of decorum will result in removal from the meeting. As you guys can see, we do have a little bit of a reverse order tonight. We will have our item first, and then we'll have public participation and comments at the end. The item tonight is the fiscal year 2026-2027 budget, where we will be going through the general funds, the CRA, the fire department, the airport, debt service funds. And now I will turn it over to you, Mr. Rosenthal.
Thank you, Mayor, and good evening, everyone. Before we get into the preliminary budget, I want to touch on a few key developments that have helped shape this year's numbers. We anticipate finalizing the Fraternal Order of Police Lake City Police Department contract in the near future. The agreement will provide a total of $12,000 annual salary increase for all union officers to ensure competitiveness with other law enforcement agencies and to maintain appropriate staffing levels. This adjustment would add slightly more than $1.1 million to the general fund operating budget. For our health insurance renewal, we obtained 3 competitive quotes from different carriers. Although Florida Blue provided the lowest option, we still are facing a substantial 24% increase in premiums. Property, casualty, and workers' compensation insurance costs remain unchanged this year due to the existing 2-year contract. Our revenue growth for the coming year is significantly constrained. Under this flat revenue structure, the budget can only sustain a 3% cost of living adjustment for all city employees. While this level of increase helps us maintain some competitiveness in the labor market, it reflects the fiscal limitations created by returning to the rollback rate and the need to balance employee support with overall financial stability. We plan to strengthen operations through the establishment of a new safety and risk department team to support maintaining ADA compliance and add positions to our organization structure to do so. This is going to contribute about $319,000 to the general fund operating expenses. We have also streamlined our organization structure by eliminating 3 positions that are no longer operationally necessary: the grants writer, the public works director, and a procurement facility maintenance technician. Together, these changes result in a salary reduction of approximately $294,000, which has been removed from the proposed budget. Several community and capital projects are reflected in this year's budget, including the new splash pad and playground renovations at Youngs Park, continued work on Gwynn Lake Restoration Project, repairs scheduled for Northeast Center Street, Northwest Ridgewood, Southwest Alamo, and Southwest Dogwood. Upgrading our service system by moving to a Nutrinix cluster at a cost of roughly $600,000 for a more reliable, faster, and easier to manage system. In summary, the initiatives and adjustments outlined this evening reflect a careful balance between operational needs, fiscal responsibility, and our commitment to serving this community. From personnel changes and rising healthcare costs to critical infrastructure improvements and major capital projects, each element plays an important role in shaping the financial landscape of the year ahead. With that overview in place, I'll now turn it over to our Finance Director, Angie Moore, who will walk us through the preliminary budget in detail.
Good evening, council members and citizens of Lake City. Thank you for attending the City of Lake City's budget workshop. Tonight, we will begin our review of several key components of the fiscal year 2027 budget, including the general fund, the CRA, the fire department, and time permitting, the airport fund and debt service. Over the next few days, we will be examining the city's proposed budget of $98,673,526, representing a 14.5% increase over last year's budget. The council has elected to implement the rollback rate, the millage rate of 4.7824 mils, which is a 0% tax increase, producing an ad valorem revenue of $5,711,069. The council has likewise opted not to increase the fire assessment or water sewer rates. Citywide, we have $31.5 million in planned capital projects. Of that, $23.5 million is funded through accumulated surplus from prior years. Each department director will provide further detail on their projects during their presentation. I would also like to bring to the attention of the council as well as the citizens an important consideration for the future. The shift of the rollback rate and holding other major revenue sources flat will limit our ability to keep pace with rising operational costs such as fuel, construction material, technology, and labor. If these revenue levels remain unchanged in future years, the city will face difficult decisions, including potential reduction in staffing and service levels. Sustaining a current service delivery will require additional revenue, whether through adjustments to ad valorem rates or other sources deemed appropriate by the council. Now, these workshops are the time for the council to really dig into the budget. It's when you look closely at every part of it. Decide what needs to be added, removed, or changed. Work through any concerns you may have. The goal is to sort out all the questions and adjustments now so that we do not have to wait till the last minute changes during the final budget hearings. This is your chance to pick apart the budget and make sure it reflects exactly what you want. With that in mind, we'll begin with the council's budget for your consideration and review. So I'll turn it over to Mayor Walker and Ms. Sykes.
Thank you very much, Ms. Sykes. I'll let you begin walking us through it.
I will share that departments were asked to cut 15% of their budgets as part of the budget exercise as directed by the city manager. I did not cut anything from the council's budget, so what you have before you is indicates everything that I thought you guys may want in the budget, so we can kind of start going through that. On contractual services, I did have a conversation earlier today with the city attorney, and there's a rather large project in there for codification. That is a project that we were kind of in a holding pattern on until we got our code online up to date. That code online is now current. I'm very proud of that project, but now we need to do a total recodification of all of our code. That project will probably take at least 2 years to do. It's going to be very labor intensive. And it is the recommendation of the city attorney that maybe we put that off at this time and just kind of let things be still for a little while. So that would be $30,000 that we could take out of the budget this year until maybe we wait till a little further down the road, maybe a year or so, to start that project. It is one that is desperately needed, but I definitely have to have the city attorney to work on that project. So do we want to cut that $30,000? Is everybody okay if we wait on that project for a little while?
What would it affect? What are the downstream effects of waiting on that project?
I'd say your code is not. The code hasn't been updated. The full recodification of the code, I don't think, has been done probably since 68. I mean, we've modified sections of the code, but a total recodification project is where you literally go through every section of the code, and every department that has input in that section of code will all provide their input. We have a legal review conducted by the company, which would be Civic Plus. And then they would look at the statutory requirements that need to be modified in the code. And then we work with the city attorney and all the departments. It's a major undertaking, not just for myself and Mr. Martin, but it would be all staff, all your management staff.
All hands on deck.
Yeah, it's a major project. Mr. Martin, would you like to add anything to that?
The reason for my suggestion is right now there are a lot of departments that are in transition, are taking on new challenges and new tasks under the leadership of Mr. Rosenthal. There are just a lot of moving parts right now, and to layer this on top of that, I think may overly tax the system. We've gotten the code up to date, which means that a resident or anyone else can go to our code online or to the book, and within 6 months of changes, know generally what the law is here in the city of Lake City. That hasn't been the case until the update that just recently was finalized in the last few weeks. You looked at our code, and it may have been up to date as of 5, 6, 7 years ago, possibly. And so now someone can reliably know that what's there is at least the most up-to-date version. It may not necessarily reflect what is up to date as our code relates to state or federal law, and those are the kinds of things that we now need to bring it into line with state or federal law. But knowing as Ms. Sykes said, the amount of work it's going to take for everybody involved in the city, and knowing that we're going to be doing this as everything else is continuing to move, it's going to be disruptive, and we just got a lot of things going on right now. I'm not saying we don't need to do it. I just don't know that maybe the timing is great. We're getting ready to do a rewrite just on Chapter 102 on utilities that's necessitated by some requirements by the state. So some of the things that would go into a recodification we may accomplish just organically anyway as part of fulfilling some of our obligations to state agencies and those kinds of things as well. So
Yeah. Yes, sir.
I would be fine taking the advice of staff and holding off on that, seeing how the next year or so goes. That makes a lot of sense. It also allows us to cut a little chunk of our budget right off the bat as well.
Yeah, if this is one of the few departments that has grown, especially this much, I would favor that as well. Mr. Jernigan?
Yes, I would go along with the staff recommendations to cut wherever we can, but also remember that that is a project that's needed, but not at this time.
Ms. Young?
I'm good right now.
What did you say it would affect?
Make sure you speak into the microphone.
You mean the code?
Yeah,
Not
having it.
not having it. There just may be some areas of it that maybe are not totally current, and we can address those if we notice something that needs to be corrected, we can go ahead and correct that portion of the code with 2 readings of an ordinance. So we can go ahead and correct those sections, but the total recodification would literally do your entire code at one big sweep. But it is a major undertaking, and
And you said we haven't had it done since 60.
probably since 68 when the code was done. It's not been done since I've been here, and I've been here 26 years, telling on myself, but 26 years. No, the code's never been totally recodified. It's been codified, but not literally reading every chapter, reading every word, every sentence in it to make sure that it still is reflective of how we do business. So there probably is portions of it that is just outdated, and it just needs to be updated.
Okay.
Yeah. And that's just something that's been going on for,
Just gonna drop it for right now and then maybe.
I will
next
make
year
sure
we'll-
it's back in there next year if you'd like to readdress it next year.
Yeah.
Does that sound okay with everyone?
And now is the $30,000 for a? Go ahead, Ms. Young.
So that's with as we're working day to day,
Yes.
and when you notice, then you of course make notation
Yes, ma'am.
as we go along throughout. Okay, that's good.
My question: the $30,000, is that for a consultant or is that for what is the?
That is Civic Plus. They bill it to you in increments. Say for example, maybe the legal review might be $8,000. So that might be the first thing that they bill out is $8,000, and then they send us the legal review, and then it's our responsibility to send that out to our departments and say, hey, this is what this first initial legal review, and that legal review comes from Civic Plus. And then, of course, Mr. Martin's involved, and we send it out to our directors. Any director that may have a skin in the game, let's say Chapter 1, maybe might be airport, it might be utilities, it might be growth management. So all those directors would have input into that Chapter 1, and then we'd take all that. Mr. Martin would have to look at it. We'd have to get back with their attorney, and then we start then we go to Chapter 2, same thing, 3, and we go through the entire city code.
So by this time next year, you will be able to say, okay,
We're ready to maybe start the project by next
you're
year.
going to take this whole year to be prepared for then. We don't want to wait. And
Now Civic Plus will not give us that initial legal review until we sign the contract and do that initial legal review that they conduct. So we'd have to actually sign the contract, start the project, and it will span probably a 2-year. It's usually a 2-year project, depending on how fast you work it.
okay.
So if we want to totally wait on the project, we will do whatever is the pleasure of the council.
We can wait.
Okay.
Mr. Carter.
As it stands right now, I'm fine with waiting, but I am curious. Have we priced this out before? Has this been, we're going to do it and then put it off before? If so, since the last time, is it a significant price increase since the last time we priced it? And if so, when was that?
I haven't priced it in about 5 years, and that's why it took so long to get the code up to date. Back when we initially started this project, we were under different leadership, and we had a lot of turmoil going on.
Nuh-uh.
Yeah.
Okay.
No.
Yeah. So, and that actually was what delayed the project was, changes in administration, because you have to have a city manager in place, because the city manager is also very crucial in this project. They play a significant role, as does the city attorney and my office as well. And we just had so much turnover, it delayed the project. And so we got the project started. We had the first legal review done. We sent it out to all the directors. We were working on it. The last attorney that was working on it with me was Cobra Line, if that tells you how long ago it has been since we started the project.
Okay.
And I could get pricing if you like. I haven't repriced it yet because we weren't quite ready yet.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
No, I would say, it sounds like we're it seems like we're on the same page, so we probably don't need to necessarily get pricing until we're approaching next year's budget.
It
But,
seems like it was around 28 is what I seem to recall, but I could be mistaken.
Okay.
But I'll be happy to put it back in next year for us to discuss again if that is the pleasure of the council.
Yes.
All right. On the next big line item is the travel. Well, we have to leave the election expense in there.
Sure.
So that's a given. The travel, what I did is I went through and I basically allocated for 5 members to attend, I think, most events, unless I have it down specifically who's attending an event. Like there's a couple on there that I have, like the mayor attending, or Miss Young attending, or Miss Harris attending. And I base that on history from this past year. And I try not to forget anything. So if there's travel that you take that I did not account for, please, please, please let me know now so that we don't have to take it before council in the middle of the year. But I really tried to make sure I covered everything that everybody attends. And so is there any of that needs to be eliminated or reduced, or are we good with that?
But you probably can take me off for the next airport thing.
Okay.
I've got a small list that I'm going to be removed from as well.
Sure.
Can you speak up? We can't hear down here.
Sure.
Can you hear me, Angie?
Yes.
Okay.
I couldn't hear Miss Young earlier.
Oh, okay.
Miss Harris, I think is.
Or it was Miss Harris. I couldn't hear, so I'm sorry.
I told her she can take me off for the next airport thing. I think
Okay.
it was in Fort Lauderdale. I don't have to ever go to that again.
Okay, Mayor Walker, you said you were not interested in going to that either?
Yeah, I went once for the value of the city, but
Okay.
There's a couple of things actually. I have a small list. Should I submit those to finance after this, or between now and the budget, or do it right now?
Angie, what's the best way that you'd like to
If you
address
can
that?
send it to me, that's fine.
Okay.
As long as the rest of the council's okay with it?
I'm just removing myself.
Yourself,
Yeah,
that's fine. Yeah, you can
Just
send it to me
removing
later.
myself. Yeah.
Removing yourself from the airport thing?
Yeah, well, yeah, from a handful of events that
Oh,
I
alright.
didn't go to this year, and I
Alright,
don't plan on
alright.
going to.
And I did put in, as you'll see there, I did do a miscellaneous travel line because it does seem to come up occasionally where there may be an event that may arise that one of you actually may want to attend and it's not budgeted. And when it's not budgeted, it makes it really difficult. So that is the reason for the miscellaneous travel. But I tried to, like I said, do at least 5 people, I think, on most of the trainings. So if there is something that you do not wish to attend, if you would like to follow his lead, I'll be happy to facilitate those to Angie, or you can send them directly to her yourself, and we can get those removed.
But I'll CC you on it, Miss Sykes, but I'll send it straight to you, Angie.
Sounds
If that's
good.
okay. That way you could
works.
just remove that, or the portion allocated for me off the. And if anybody else wants to be removed from those, I would just the same.
Yeah.
But I see about, I think 11,000 or so that could come off of this.
Yeah, Mr. Mayor, honestly, it'd be easier for me to send you a list of the things I will attend.
That you
on
will
this-
attend or
Yeah,
won't?
will. On this list of, looks like about 4 of them. So, and I would be remiss if I didn't mention it. Obviously, I made the point a few weeks ago, though the argument is probably irrelevant. I still don't see the cause for city council to go to the Congressional Black Caucus. That's an $8,000 expense. To be clear, I haven't said anything at all about the Florida Black Caucus. I imagine there's a real value there. But other than that, no, I've got quite a lot of these events I would not be attending.
Why don't you keep up with your travel wherever you're going?
We're working
That's
on
what-
our budget.
That's what
Thank
you
you.
should be concerned about.
Thank you.
Okay. Operating expenses, communications, that's the cell phones. There's really not much we can do there. Postage, we just put a little funds in there. Miscellaneous repair and maintenance, that's just in case we need something, a copier breaks down, et cetera. Printing and binding, we have gatekeeper awards supplies in that. Miscellaneous copy productions, supplies for proclamations, it's kind of standard. The next one is promotional activities, so I'd ask that you all look through that and give any feedback. When we get down to the parade and float rental, I did reach out, and I do have a little handout. I can submit it through, circulate it through the council, of a company that actually does float rentals, and I can send each of you. Would you hand that to Ms. Young? To see if this is something you might be interested in, since the
No question, Mayor.
Huh?
I
Yes,
saw
go
your
ahead.
expression. Are you like against float rental?
Yeah, I am. This was one of the items I had circled to remove out of our budget.
Well, the thing is, when it comes to float rentals, and I think I may have made the suggestion, and it really doesn't cost as much as we think it does.
Mhm.
But when you consider the employees that we take,
Yeah.
to do those
Create
rentals,
something,
and
sure.
then after hours work, and when you consider all of that, you probably spent more than what this.
Yeah,
really
but my, I guess my suggestion would be, historically, and I know that we don't, not everybody likes the fire truck, right?
No, we don't.
But historically, the fire truck or the police 4x4 have been available for council to ride in, and it's an easy, low-cost thing that I think that we should go back to. That's just my opinion.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
No, I just say thank you,
Okay,
but no
yep.
thank you.
Yes, sir, Mr. Carter.
Yes. So I don't know how much it costs to sit on a hay bale in the back of a trailer, but that's fine with me. And I suspect it's significantly less than $13,000. So I would be fine with sitting on just about anything in a trailer and waving, throw candy, whatever we're going to do. Not throw candy. Sorry. Also,
hand out.
again, the council did not vote to fund the event called Love Fest a few months ago. And now it is, and it was asked at the time for $10,000. Now it's in the budget for $15,000. So I have 2 thoughts on this. First, all the same thoughts I had before about the event and its lack of necessity. Second, I think there is quite a few events that exist in this budget, and this is less about an event and more about placement. So we have Miss Terry's department. We have a event coordination department, effectively. So some of this stuff here, I wonder if it's not in the wrong place. And also, oftentimes the stuff that's on our list ends up getting managed, or at least partially managed, by Ms. Sykes.
My question on this, and I think the distinction is what is the difference between a city sponsored and a city
Thank you.
and a
True,
city
and it's-
hosted event?
Yeah.
Right. Well, that's kind of what I'm getting at. So, like, for instance, obviously like when we do our League of Cities event, like we just did, it makes sense to go through us, and Ms. Sykes organize that because we're coordinating with other governments.
Slow down. You're talking too fast.
Am I talking too fast?
Too much.
You can keep that stuff to yourself. Thank you. But I'd like to see Ms. Sykes involved in less organizing of parties and events. And I'd like to see events that are going through our department be council events, not necessarily an individual counselor kind of semi-hosting an event. Things like that tend to become what feels like political events as opposed to city events from time to time.
Problem with that is you have some council that don't ever come up with anything. So to say that it is a council event, that would be a little,
That is true. I
Awkward.
do generally not go out of my way to find
I'm
ways
glad
to
you
spend
spoke up for
taxpayer money.
yourself then.
Thank you. And I'm not usually looking for ways to waste money.
Let's Miss Young.
Okay. I want to go back to the float.
Yeah.
I want to say that, and the reason we even came up with the float is because we had more employees who was interested in riding. So that's how the float came up. And then to have the, excuse me.
We didn't know that.
Oh, well, you saw more people out there. But anyway, that's how the float came up. And when we were pulling utility workers, actually asking them to do floats and, pulling people from their day-to-day operation. That's how that came. We don't have to have a float. I don't have a problem walking. So that's that. And concerning the events and Ms. Terry, and the council being a part of the events, I think the council members should be included and partake in, even as far as the planning, and even as far as coming up with the events, because you get the information from the communities of what the members of the community of what they want. So, and then you work with Ms. Terry to make it come true. So I think that's good for the community. I don't know I think I did 2 events, and I would love to continue doing. If the community comes out, we're all a part of it, and I see nothing wrong with it. The money is going to be used. It's designated for that.
Designated.
So it really, why does it matter who's a part of the planning? Right? You about to say something, Mayor? Go ahead.
Yeah, well, my thoughts. So, since this is promotional expenses, right? In my mind, under the council budget, these are things that we sponsor either in kind or financially, helping that event, not necessarily putting it on. So, where I think it should be categorized, if we're actually hosting and putting it on, that should be under an operation. If the city's hosting and putting on an event, it should be operational.
Right.
This to me is us either sponsoring again monetarily or in kind, not necessarily running the
Okay,
event.
when you say this, don't say this and that. Let's say what it is.
These events, the events that are on the council budget.
Okay.
So specifically events that are here on the council budget. And when I look at it, we have the Coke giveaway, the Unity Day backpack giveaway, Love Fest, and I believe that's it.
And
The
these
rest
were
and trunk or treat. But trunk or treat, I think, is just a sponsorship or us participating with a trunk. It's not necessarily us. It's not the council hosting an event. It's us sponsoring or having a booth at that event. Does that make sense? Does that make sense?
Yes.
I don't know what happened with the trunk or treat. I didn't.
It's just on here. Just these events, they're on here. So there's 4 events that are listed on, and I think that it's important to distinguish the city sponsored events because it determines our level of who's doing it. And by that I mean, if it's sponsored, I don't think that the public works guys are setting it up. It's being set up by the organization that's running the event.
Right.
Does that make sense?
When it's city sponsored,
Mm-hmm.
my take on that is the city may have the tent, may provide the tent
Mhm.
with tables and chairs.
Yeah.
That's or advertising. That's sponsoring, right?
Yeah, in
You
kind,
agree?
any in kind provision. Yeah.
Right. It's not our event.
Yeah.
Okay.
I would like to say about the float. The reason why I said about the float, I rode on the back of that fire truck. I don't want to do it again.
I'm not.
This float to me would be good, and the reason why I thought it would be good because to me it just would seem much better if the council was together in a parade versus you got council up here, you got council back here, and then we're on a vehicle that's saying council members. And then you have a vehicle in the front and then a vehicle, you know what I mean? So if you had a big float for all of us to be on the float, I think that would be good. That's why I wanted the float.
I know. I think I'm with Miss Young. I'll either walk. So my preference would be to walk and we have this. I mean,
So
it's just
now
a
you're
really
gonna
cool.
make the rest of us look
I,
lazy.
no,
Yeah,
it's just
that's
a
what
really
you're
cool
doing.
vehicle. That old fire truck is a really cool vehicle. It's from
It's
1912.
not safe, Mayor.
there-
It's jerking and it's not
it's-
safe, Mayor.
I've ridden on it. I would put my children on it.
Yeah.
But I'm either gonna walk or I'm gonna ride the fire. I can't justify us spending 13 grand
Absolutely.
on a float. I think it's. I
Ludicrous.
just think I think it's kind of crazy. My thoughts. Those are my thoughts.
Those are your thoughts.
Those are my thoughts. But
How-
we need everybody's thoughts on this so that we can either keep it in or take it out.
How much do you think it cost for the float we had in the last float we had in the parade?
The one that was built.
Add up the cost.
Yeah. So again, I wasn't really for building a float. I was fine with riding the fire truck.
Well, I don't know how it came about, but it
Yeah,
happened.
yeah.
So
I have a question. I've actually meant to ask this a few times. Chief, can the fire truck pull a trailer? Does it have that kind of juice?
it's jerking us.
I'm just asking. Okay.
For real.
Not to mention the gas smell.
It's an old engine. It's from
Yeah, she's
1912.
right.
It's a
Yeah,
cool.
we could You could tell.
Well, Mr. Mayor, I agree with you about the fire truck. I also think that $13,000 to rent a float for us to feel good in is preposterous.
Just a minute ago, you said you thought it was a good idea. Now
No, together is fine, but we can literally put some streamers on the side of a trailer and sit on hay bales.
you just said
Yeah, it would be
it's
fine.
Drive by and wave or walk by and say hey. I mean, one of them costs dozens of dollars and the other one costs $13,000. To me, it's. I mean, we've advertised the rollback rate. We've asked every department in the city to cut their budgets. So more than ever, things that may be perceived as frivolous in our own budget, we should be looking at with a very hard eye. And it's not that it's not predetermined, as you were saying before. We're determining it now. This is sort of a template of things we've done in the past or things that each individual one of us have mentioned interest in. But I think it's good that we advertise the rollback rate. I think we have some interesting things coming down the pipe as far as property taxes go. And if nothing else, this is good practice for what we may be facing next year. So I think it's good that we did it and everybody had to deal with the exercise of looking at the budget a little harder than usual.
Hey, Mr.
But I also think that, to be honest, our city already runs a really tight ship on most departments. So to be clear, I believe that we should be looking at this harder than ever.
Mr. Jernigan.
Yes, don't get caught up in semantics, man. Just if you don't want to this float, just say it's you don't want it. I mean, I don't want the float either. I prefer to ride with the chief in a side by side with city council written on there. Because that fire truck is major. I have ridden on it before, but I'm gonna try not to ride it on again. But if I had to ride on it, to sit with everybody on this council, I'll do just that. However, you know, just like you say, that 12,000 or 13,000 for a float. I don't know if it's going to be ours once we get it and we just keep it.
we're renting that for
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So that rental, that's what you got to think about.
I thought
That
we
we,
were buying the thing.
if we're going to rent something for $12,800, I don't think that's necessary. I think that is frivolous, just like
For
you
four
said.
uses. Yeah.
I'll make
Yeah.
y'all a float.
So but if I had to rent this float or ride on the fire truck, I would definitely ride on that fire truck. I can tell you that, to save money. That's all I'm saying. You know, because I'm all about, just like Mr. Rosenthal, he's all about dollars and cents. So you got to think like the city manager does. And $12,800, it may not seem much to a lot of people, but to me, that is a lot of money, you know, for a float. And if we were to buy the float, I probably still wouldn't ride on it. I'll still ride on with the chief to side by side. I think that that's the safest way to get in that parade. And again, that's me thinking and you thinking, or whoever thinking. But that's the way I look at it.
Safest way.
So I think we have a consensus that renting a float for $12,800
No, take that out.
is not good. Yes, ma'am.
I just wanted to mention that last Christmas when when Mr. Brown's department provided the trailer, we were very fortunate that he just happened to have a brand new one that was available to be used for float building. So that may not always be the case in the future. He's probably not just going to have a brand new clean one just sitting around. So staff, I would respectfully ask that staff get some guidance, you know, as to what the plans are for the parades, because what Ms. Harris had brought up, you know, I think each of you have your own thoughts on
Yeah,
on the parade situation, and it makes it very difficult. It makes it difficult for my office to coordinate with all five of you when you all five have a different idea, and you all are my boss. So,
No,
I'm just saying.
Ms.
Yeah.
Audrey, I apologize if I'm making it difficult for your staff, but I'm trying to make it simple.
Yeah.
I don't want to float. I'm gonna ride in the side by side,
Okay.
and it don't cost the city anything. I'm just gonna ride with safety with the chief of police.
Yes,
Okay.
it does. It costs gas.
Okay.
That's it.
So, we will remove that amount for the float rental then, and then we will circle back and hopefully we can get a consensus on how we're going to do future parades.
Yes, sir.
Yes, I do think in a future meeting as a discussion item, like in a regular council meeting, we can probably nail down what we're going to do with that with what we currently own. Though that way,
Absolutely.
we'll definitely get you an answer
I would love that.
before the next
That.
Thank
well before
you.
the next parade.
Okay. All right.
So
and
we'll have a
then-
discussion item at the beginning of September.
Okay.
Yeah.
For
Let's stop
that-
talking about a float in the budget. Come on.
Then we'll never
Okay.
talk about it again.
Well, I
It'll
mean,
be
we
great.
needed to have this discussion.
Sure,
so-
sure, sure.
Okay. So I did put in $2,000 for candy and supplies because we actually spent probably close to, I think it was probably around $1,500 on candy last year for the parades.
Okay.
So let me know if that's something that we want to continue or not continue.
How are we going to distribute that candy?
Well, we walked.
And
Hand-
still threw it.
We
We threw that candy. Tell the truth. We
oh,
threw
you
that
mean walking
candy.
and throwing it?
Yes.
Let's
Yeah.
have this. Let's have this as part of our discussion whenever we get to it. But I think that
Put a pin in it, please, because
Mm.
we'll come back
We'll
and
just-
not discuss it.
Okay.
yes, sir. Mr.
But as
Cronin.
far as a line item in the budget, that makes sense because I have had no one complain about how we're riding in the parade. Although that I believe we would maybe be stoned if we didn't have candy in some fashion or another. So
Right.
right.
Okay. Do we have a consensus to move the coat giveaway, the backpack giveaway, and the Love Fest to the managers under Terry's events
Well,
to be
so
thought
this is
about then?
what I would ask. Are we the ones that are we the host of these events? Are we supporting an organization? Yes, ma'am.
We sponsor. I know the backpack. We sponsor the backpack event. And let me say this. And I already had the conversation with Miss Sykes, so she's good. Miss Sykes started out volunteer, right? She volunteered to carry that out.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, to help a council member. Yes, ma'am. That is correct.
She volunteered to carry it out. and it has become a heavy load on her,
Mhm.
right?
Yes, ma'am.
Is what she said. Okay, so we sponsor the event, and I don't believe the lead person of this event has a problem accepting the responsibility, and the city sponsoring, continue to sponsor and do what we just said we do as a sponsor.
Do
Furnish the
what?
tent, furnish the table, furnish the chairs, and Ms. Sykes not be the event planner. I don't think he has a problem with that, but we just have to say it
Mm.
and stop beating around the bush about it.
I don't
Just
think, Ms.
say
Sykes,
it.
you were the event planner?
Yes, ma'am, for that one.
What,
and,
what do you mean? What did you plan? what
well,
part?
we reached out to the vendors. My staff and I have reached out to the vendors that participate in the event. We send out letters, as we did the same thing with the coat giveaway. So basically the same thing I did for you for your coat giveaway, I do for the backpack event. Like I coordinate the event. I show up the day of the event. We gather items for the event. I shop for the event.
It's a lot.
Yeah, work with finance, make sure that people get paid for the event.
Yeah, Mr. Mayor, that's I brought this up a minute ago, but that's just one thing I'd like to see change in this budget cycle and in this government moving forward is that Miss Audrey is not an event planner.
No.
She's our clerk. The charter pretty clearly defines what she's supposed to be up to, and organizing events is very generally not one of those things. That's
Well,
all.
I'm gonna tell you
And
like this
say-
right here. Miss Sykes love to volunteer to help. She's a helper naturally. Some people are, some just aren't. So when you say as if somebody is putting a due burden on her, that is not true. She volunteers to do a lot of stuff.
So I just
So
said.
let's be clear on that. Let's not try to act like somebody is making her do anything when she has volunteered on her own.
No, Miss Mayor.
Sure.
No, I'm not suggesting that. What I'm suggesting is that we are her boss, and we need to make sure she's doing what she's supposed to be doing, and not other stuff on city time. Privately, if she feels like volunteering for any of these events in the evening or after hours or what have you, she can do whatever she likes. But as far as a functioning member of the government, organizing these events is not under her purview, and I think that we should be doing our jobs to make sure she's not doing that.
Ms. Young.
Okay, so to just go ahead and clarify, I've had this conversation with Ms. Sykes. Didn't I say
Yes,
that
ma'am.
initially? So everything is out in the open, it's plain and it's clear. Now it's up to Ms. Sykes, right? To let go of that, what she has chosen as a responsibility. And it doesn't go to Ms. Terry.
Goes to the
Right?
yeah.
And so we have to have that discussion. Stop talking behind the doors and just have the discussion, and it's going to be okay.
I got a problem with that. Because even when it was time to do the coat giveaway, different people that, Miss Sykes and Miss Terry, they volunteered to send, I know such and such, I'll make sure that I get something to them. So I just don't like the look of it as if somebody is forcing them to do something they don't want to do when they have volunteered to do it.
Mayor,
I think we might clear this up. Yeah, go ahead.
hers is a city event. The coat was a city event, right? The coat giveaway?
I don't know. what
Wasn't
it
that
was.
considered our event?
Thought so.
See, I honestly thought the backpack event was a city event.
No, we
I
clarified
know,
that before.
but I'm talking about historically. I thought that it was a city hosted event.
It was.
We say sponsored and hosted it, and like I shared with you, we just needed some clarity. Like I need the clarity on what my role needs to be professionally in that, and then I can definitely handle my personal with a volunteer. I don't have an issue with that. But whenever I'm here from 8 to 5, do I need to be working on these events or do I not need to be working on these events? So I need to know what is my role as clerk for the events. Like what am I needing to do and what am I not needing to do?
Go ahead.
Easy answer. Easy answer.
Yeah.
Pull up your job description. And does it say event planner?
No, ma'am.
Okay, stop volunteering, Ms. Sykes.
Volunteering.
Okay.
And here's what I think might be easy from management done is to put together a memo on what we do, define what we will do as a city sponsor
And a city event.
Yeah.
and a host, but what we will do as a city sponsor, whether that's security, whether that's public works cleanup, or if that's in-kind contribution and what that value is. That way, when somebody comes to us and they say, hey, you want to kick in $5,000 for this event, this is what we're trying to do, we say, we've got an in-kind package for that will provide security and cleanup. If that's okay with you, if you'd rather have X amount of dollars or X resources, then that's something that we can talk about too. And it could involve all of the above, right? But I think that would provide a lot of clarity. Just a little policy memo. Yes, sir.
Yes, I think we're getting caught up in this volunteered and voluntold. You're either going to be volunteer or you're going to be voluntold. I don't think there's nobody here has voluntold Ms. Sykes or anybody on this dais pretty much what to do. Now, if you volunteer your time, I think all of us is aware when you're working a job, you are to stay within the guidelines from that time. You come to work 8 o'clock, you get off at 5. You don't volunteer, you're not voluntold, you don't do anything, you do your job. Now, after 5 or 6 or whatever time you get off, you can volunteer. So there's a difference between volunteer and voluntold. I don't think anybody has voluntold Ms. Sykes what to do. I would hope and pray that they didn't do that. If you take it from me, don't ask Ms. Sykes to do anything. That's the best thing. Now, when you tell her to do something, make sure that you're within the scope of her duty. I mean, how simple is that? Volunteer, voluntold. That's my take on that.
Thank you, Mr.
Mayor, are we ready to move on down the okay.
Mr. Carter has one more thing.
Just one final thing. I agree. I think that Mr. Don and staff should work on putting together packages, like you said. Because defining terms is super important. When I hear sponsor, like whenever we're putting together an event for Kiwanis, I go ask a business to sponsor the event. They're writing a check, and then we're doing everything, right? So when I hear sponsor means write a check to an organization that's doing the thing. So that, to me, would be the difference. Is the city coordinating? Like, for instance, is Terry the coordinating officer of said event? Then that's a city-hosted event. If we're writing a check or providing a service in kind, like security or trash or whatever, that's a sponsored event. So, and then we can come up with some sort of value of the hours for trash pickup and security or whatever, and create a package thing. And when people come to ask us for the stuff, that is good. Also, to be clear, I'm not because I haven't saying that anyone is voluntolding Ms. Sykes. Honestly, I think Ms. Sykes is just likes being helpful and is very helpful. And I think we've developed a culture of she, in an effort to be as great a clerk and a member of staff as possible, she's kind of gotten herself into too many things. So I'm just saying we kind of roll that culture back a little bit and let her focus on the other things. Not saying anyone has made her do anything. I think everyone's just trying to be helpful, and we've helpful ourselves into maybe too busy sometimes with stuff that isn't the stuff. That's all.
All right, thank you.
Do we wish to discuss anything else in promotional activities? I did add, I think, a little bit of funds in there for a city logo backdrop. I thought that might be nice in case the council were to participate in an event.
Oh,
Step and repeat.
Outreach.
go back.
We already have one.
We
City logo
have a city
backdrop? We have it
I
already.
believe Terry.
Terry has
yeah,
one?
Yes.
yeah, Terry
Okay.
got one. So we don't need that.
We taking
Okay.
that out.
All right. And I did add 500 in there for trunk or treat in case the council. I know Ms. Phillips every year will circulate, solicit for people to come and set up and do trunk or treat. So I just threw a little money in there in case the council maybe wanted to do that this next year or this fall. So that's
We're
500.
sponsoring the trunk or treat.
$500.
Not sponsor, but let's say you wanted to, I don't know if you needed to buy decorations to decorate someone's trunk or something to make it look cute. I don't know. If you guys want to take it out, it is really not, I just put a little money in there. It could be a public outreach item, but that's entirely up to you all. I just tried to think of
Say
everything
take that out.
okay. No
Terry,
trunk or treat.
It's
Okay.
just my thoughts. Terry has her own funding, right?
Yes, but if you participate in the event, then you have to provide your own
It'd
decorations
be
for your.
coming from the council, that 500. Okay.
Yeah. Yep.
We'll leave it in.
So,
So are we leaving it in?
Leave it in.
Okay.
leave it.
We'll probably participate.
Mhm.
Yeah, I think it would be nice. I thought it would be nice if we participated. I know we get asked, and
Mhm.
it'd be nice if we showed up.
The question,
Yes, ma'am.
Mayor.
Yes, ma'am.
The football ad and yearbook ad, and you have 300
Mm-hmm.
for each.
Mm-hmm.
And what does that consist of? One ad or?
The yearbook
We-
ad and the football program ad, those are two different things. The football is a totally different program. I think those are the
Right.
programs they hand out at the games.
Okay.
And
And that's
I think it's the
a
photo.
full member.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Well, usually it's the individual photos. Historically, we would do the individual photos of the people who participated. We used to do it individually if you paid your funds to do
Okay.
it personally, but I just went ahead and started adding it in the budget, and now we use just the council photo.
Okay, that's what I
Yeah.
thought. Okay, good.
Okay.
Okay.
Moving along.
Okay, and moving right along, let's go into operating supplies. Not much there. Let's see. Oh, I did add an incoming and outgoing council reception. We need to add a little funds for that for November.
Excuse me, Ms. Audrey, I think I
Yes.
missed something. You know, I'm kind of caught up in all of this discussion. The Love Fest. So did we decide to keep that in?
Yeah.
Who was we? It wasn't me.
Yeah, to be clear, I mentioned it earlier. It didn't seem to get a lot of traction, but to be clear, not just the Love Fest. I think a lot of the big ticket events and things like that. I mentioned to staff earlier in the year because I know last year the budget item for the barbecue festival, for instance, was $30,000, which seems like a
$1,000.
ludicrous amount of money as well. I'm not picking and choosing.
Voted
I'm,
yes for that.
yeah, I'm sorry. I thought I thought I was just a lost argument there. I didn't realize I had any other support there. But to me, I'd like to see more of these events, us doing some community partnerships, some sponsorships and things like that, and letting some businesses in town have the opportunity to put their name on an event with the city and things like that, whether it be Love Fest or the barbecue festival or what have you. I know a lot of those barbecue festivals. I've been to a few, and I know I have some people in my district actually who've been to a lot. And many of them are heavily sponsored by local organizations and things like that. So I think that when it comes to some of these events, we could probably do a little bit of boots on the ground, seeking out sponsorships with local organizations, things like that, and save the taxpayers quite a bit of money on some of these things. To me, I think that $15,000 is also, that's a ton. You can put on a small fireworks show at $15,000. I think we spend $25,000 for the one we do down there 4th of July. So I would say take that out of the budget in general. But of course,
Yes, but of course what?
oh, well, like I said, of course, at the time when I mentioned it earlier, I thought I was the only person who felt that way.
Well, when
No, I didn't hear it clearly. I mean, you're talking very, very fast, so I didn't hear that.
No one's ever told me that
I
before.
would say that the 15,000, just like we did this year here. I think that whoever's hosting this event can come up with the money instead of get them from the taxpayers. I think that we should take that out and then have whoever is putting on this event have them get sponsors, just like we did this year. To put that in there, and I would say like change even if it was there for whatever reason. Change the name, change the atmosphere. Boots, and I love the fact that Miss Harris, she's the one who puts that event on.
So why did you say whoever?
So change the name to Boots on the Ground, just like you said, or something to that effect. But I don't think that $15,000 that the citizens of this community should.
Wait, hold on. Let's have order. Mr. Jernigan's gonna finish, and then Miss Young's gonna go, and then I'll.
Okay, so that's my point. I believe that we can get sponsors other than having put that burden on the citizens in this community. That's just my opinion. Now, again, I was, and I'm all for it. I'm gonna be the first one to volunteer to say, hey, Ms. Harris, you need sponsors? I'll help you. But to put this on the citizens, I just can't see it.
Thank you, Mr. Jernigan. Ms. Young?
And I was pretty much going down the same wave with that. He didn't mean boots on the ground though, like name it boots on the ground. He meant boots on the ground, going out getting sponsors.
Oh,
So, but my take on that is, if we're going to have it, if we're going to name it, we need to budget for it. And when it comes to sponsors, I agree. I have no problem with sponsorship. I like that. But when we go asking, knocking on doors, we're usually asking the same sponsors to support these different events. So we're hitting the same people over and over. Now, if they want to sponsor, great, but we need to budget for it. What if you don't budget for it? You name the event and you don't get the sponsors, and then what then? You're not budgeted for. So I say budget for it, and then if we get the sponsors, great.
Okay, I'm gonna say this. So with the Love Fest, it was something that my thought process was that it was the city giving back to the citizens. We were gonna supply free food, free entertainment, and free stuff. That's what in my mind, I just wanted to happen. Now, you all voted for a $30,000 barbecue, which the citizens had to go to the barbecue. Now, the citizens already, since we're talking about what the citizens paid, they already done paid $30,000. But you can't go down there and get a free rib sandwich, because you're going to pay for that sandwich. You're going to pay for everything that you go down there and get. And then where's that money going? What happened to that money?
Mr. Mayor, one thing I do know is that the last couple of years it's been budgeted $30,000, although the event itself has not cost nearly that much.
But you agreed to 30,000, whether it was used or not. What is the difference between 30,000 and 15,000?
I'm pretty against it. I think I made that clear a minute ago.
We have D, you have something you want to say? Or who's
I'll pass it to the finance director.
okay? Ms.
So
Angie?
when it comes to the barbecue showdown, that's actually a budget neutral event. So she does collect the money, and that even covers the awards for that program or that event. So
So the
that's
money is-
at no cost to
Yeah,
the
it's
city.
no cost. So we budget it, but the folks that pay for entry end up, so we outlay the cost and all that money comes back to the city. So you're asking for a budget. What this is a request for budget neutral.
Yeah, the barbecue event actually broke even.
Right.
Sure. So this wouldn't be a city sponsored event technically. What you're asking for is a budget neutral $15,000 event.
Mhm.
So are we charging people to come to Love Fest now?
No, it was never, you never did.
Well, in order for it to be budget
It's
neutral, it
only
would-
been one.
I think what he means is vendors and sponsors. Are you going to get vendors and sponsors to
Right.
be budget to make it budget neutral?
that's how the other event is budget neutral, is that people pay to be a part of it and it ends up balancing out. So in this case, the city ends up breaking even, give or take. The Love Fest, as you're describing it, is, if I'm understanding correctly, it is an event and it's as much free stuff as we can give out for up to $15,000.
For our citizens.
So that's not a budget neutral item. That's an item that just costs $15,000.
Yeah.
Right. And for me, it's a no for me. I think we can, I guess, have some part in the putting on of the event, tents and seats and stuff. But again, I think just out of spite, for me, you got like a ton of sponsorship right after we talked about it last time. So it seems like a kind of event that your district or whoever reach out to you to help sponsor it will be happy to help put on. So I think we don't have it in the budget personally.
I think my opinion is if we're going to be a sponsor, it has to be less than $15,000. If it's going to be a budget neutral, then it needs to be budget neutral. But I don't know.
Asked for 10 the last time we was up here, and you guys said that, and the county was gonna put in 10. You guys thought that was too much.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
Again,
So now if it's under 15.
No, I'm saying that if we're going to sponsor it, we need to have that definition of what a sponsorship looks like and the value that's associated with it. if we're going to make it a budget neutral event, it needs to be a budget neutral event. But I like Mr. Carter,
Sponsored event.
don't agree that we should outlay $15,000 just to give things away. Yes, ma'am.
So if it's a city-sponsored event, if we decide, yes, that it's a city-sponsored event, then it need to come from under our expense, right? We shouldn't have any events. If we're saying, what we're saying is true, there should be no events under our operating budget.
Just sponsorships. Just sponsorships.
But it still should go under events.
In the manager's budget.
Right.
If it's a city event.
If it's a city event. That's right.
But there's a clear definition of a city event versus a city sponsored event. And this, I don't know. So the city event is that we do everything.
Mm-hmm.
City sponsored event is that we may provide things that are in kind and or some level of financial help to the event to get it off. But
I
Yeah.
believe any event need to go under its proper category, events,
Mhm.
and not under the council's budget.
Sure. Mr. Mayor, I think
Yep.
I think we're on the same page. So, like, for instance, back giveaway or the Coke giveaway, if I understand it correctly, the plan is for the city to write a check. Another organization is handling those events, right?
yes,
Okay.
that's
the
will
city-
be.
that's my understanding.
So
too.
the city is writing a check. They're going, we are sponsoring and hands off. So that makes perfect sense to me in this budget. This is something the council's planning. The Love Fest is a whole event. Are we managing the event? Are we putting the event on? Is Ms. Harris managing the event? Is she putting it on? Is an entirely separate organization putting it on? If it's an event and we're managing it, it needs to, as in the city, it needs to be part of the events.
Operational.
Operational events, the events operational budget, not the council budget. And also, to be clear, Miss Terry does a remarkable job putting on
You've said
events
that.
all year long
You said
for
that already.
wildly less money than this. That is very community positive. For like I'm not entirely sure, but I think the budget for all of the markets and stuff that we did down there is half or maybe a third of this number. So it's not like we're not doing that. Also, these other things we're sponsoring are literally giving free things away for people that need it. So it's not like we're not doing that either. We are doing that.
Mr. Jernigan.
Yes.
Take it out.
I
Just take
want-
the face down.
I want to have the event. I'm all for the event. Okay. I'm just saying
Take
I
it out.
don't want the
Take it out.
$15,000 to be where it is here. And whenever it comes up, I'm going to be one of the ones that help sponsor that event. But I don't want it here. I don't want the citizens in their mind thinking that, you know, we're going to give $15,000 to the Love Fest. The next person is going to come up and say, hey, I want this, I want that. It's just, we just keep on, you know? So I'm all in supporting whatever event that Miss Harris have that day or that month. I'm going to support that. But I'm going to support it from me, not from the city, not from some type of budget or whatever. I think that's the best way we should do it. You know, just take this out, and then whenever she comes up, say, hey, this is what I want to have.
Mayor, just
We
go
should
ahead
have-
and take it out. We're not gonna worry about it.
Okay, Mr. Martin, you had something to add.
I was just going to offer a term for purposes of making it easier to discuss, and that would be maybe
Don't have to
for
further discuss that. Let's just take that out.
Let the man talk.
Mr. Mayor, I'd
Fin-
love to hear
finish
what he
it.
has to
Finish
say.
it up, Mr. Martin.
Okay. For events that the city is organizing, we've had several different terms batted around. I was just going to suggest for purposes of unity of conversation that maybe we call those city organized events versus city sponsored events. And so that way we've got one term we're using, and that would be what I would suggest to Mr. Rosenthal. That dovetails with ordinances and policies I've seen elsewhere.
So to be clear, Mr. Martin, I'm speaking about two totally different things. City organized events and then city sponsored events.
Correct.
City organized events are they're events that the city's putting on with taxpayer dollars that may or may not be budget neutral. City sponsored events are where we are a sponsor providing an in-kind sponsorship. I think those are two different things.
Or monetary sponsorship.
Yeah. Yes. Those are two different things.
Mhm.
Okay. Any other thoughts? Yes, ma'am.
So are we saying we're gonna offer monetary for sponsorship?
A lot of folks
for
come.
events?
A lot of folks come to us asking for some level of help in putting their event on, in terms of security, or
You said monetary.
Barricades.
barricades,
Stuff like that.
or monetary. That's why I think that it would be important to have that defined, the value of that defined, the cleanup, the police security, et cetera, et cetera. If they're not going to hire police security, if they're not going to hire cleanup, there's a big value to the organizations when the city is a sponsor and we provide that.
So when you say monetary, money, check,
It could be.
I
But
didn't know that.
It could be. I mean, we write a check and buy we
All the
write a
time.
check and buy a bunch of these things for the backpack giveaway, right?
The backpack giveaway is budget neutral.
Budget neutral. What about
Oh, that's
the the coat giveaway?
I think that was budget neutral last year. That was the first year she had it. But that actually would fall underneath a city hosted, if I would classify that one. That one was an amazing event.
Mhm.
It was.
And I think it's important. I mean,
And-
making sure children aren't cold is important.
I do think that the backpack event next year, I think that one will shift probably to a 501c3
Mhm.
due to a funding mechanism that was not able to be obtained this year because funding requirements changed and they did lose a $3,000 sponsor this year.
But monetary, so the city used to provide money to organizations like the chamber to put on events, an X amount of events per year. Correct me if Terry's not here.
The Santa Claus.
Yeah, Santa Claus. It was, you had fireworks, Santa Claus. You had one per quarter, and the chamber put on one event per quarter, and we were a monetary sponsor of those events.
But it wasn't specified as a particular event.
It was the 4 events we had. It was 4 events a year. So it was Snow Day was one of them. You had Snow Day. You had 4 events. Trunk or Treat was actually one of them
Right.
too. Trunk or Treat, Snow Day, the 4th of July, and I can't remember what the 4th one was. Santa in the park. And so we provided X amount of dollars to that organization to make that happen for the community. But they had to put those events on, and they had to be free to everybody.
Right.
Okay.
Yes, sir, Mr. Rosenthal.
Mayor, just for
Sorry, Mr. Jernigan.
just for staff's clarification, is that $15,000 for Love Fest in or out of the budget?
It's out.
It's out. Thank you.
Yeah.
Mr. Jernigan.
Oh, that's what I was going to say. We started talking about this conversation. Ms. Harris has already told us it's out. So, and we don't need to go any further.
We was talking about it.
well, it's
not
important
her
for every-
event.
yeah.
Talking about events.
Yeah, it's important
That's-
for everything and coming up. It's not specific to the budget, but it is important for us to
Oh,
have a show.
every-
Sure.
I wanna
Yeah.
be
If we can
clear.
figure this out, we might not have such a long time talking about it next year.
Right. Every city event, it brings in revenue, right? Every city event that
No.
the city have, it's not.
Mm-mm.
Mm.
I don't know.
No.
I don't know
think
that
so.
answer. All right, Ms. Sykes, guide us further along.
Okay. So maybe if next year, if the backpack program is not going to be city organized per se, and it's going to be a city sponsored, if it's not budget neutral, do we leave that 2,000 in there so that they can get sponsorship money next year if it's a 501c3? Would that be applicable here?
I would say
But
yes.
they were already a 501(c)(3).
No. You're talking about the Hill backpack.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. We're looking that will become a 501c,
Yeah. I
and we
think
will
so.
only be sponsor
Yes, instead
yes.
of organized.
instead of organized.
That's what I think the goal will be for next
Right.
year. Yes, ma'am.
right.
So that they can capitalize on the grant that we talked
Right.
about. Yes.
There are businesses who will not make a donation unless it's a 501c.
Mhm.
That's why some of the funding were not.
Yeah, it's tax deductible.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they can write it off. Did you?
So he was getting funding, but it wasn't a 501(c)(3).
It was coming
No.
under.
It was coming.
It was budget
it-
neutral to the
It was
city.
budget
Yeah.
neutral through the city.
Right. I just want to make sure that, so when we say budget neutral, it's because the people that were sponsoring the event were giving the money to the city, and then the city was giving the money to the event, right? We were
Yes.
just like,
Right.
we were the
Yes.
pass
We
through
were-
for
yes.
it. So it didn't actually cost
Yes.
the city anything.
No,
We were-
well, my time and, staff's time,
Well, hopefully
Terry's
we'll be
time,
sorting that
anybody's
out.
time that maybe Public Works, the tent, chairs, tables, same with other events. Now on the coat giveaway, are we leaving that, is that going to be organized or sponsored, Ms. Harris? Do we need to put that one under organized or sponsored?
Organized.
Organized. So that one would need to be moved to Ms. Terry.
Is that all right with you?
Yes.
Mr. Rosenthal?
So wait a minute.
Fine.
Oh, you say the coat giveaway.
Yes. That one's gonna be organized, that's an organized city event.
Question. I thought all the coats were donated.
They were. No.
No.
The city.
Well, in a roundabout way, we collected dollars and then I had to go do a lot of shopping. Remember all the shopping I had to go do but yes,
From
they
the
were
s- from-
donated.
Okay, you said collected dollars. Where did you collect the dollars from?
Yes, exactly. Well, many different,
Sponsorship.
yes.
So the city didn't fund this.
They funded some of it. I think they funded a couple of $1,000s. I think 2,000 maybe.
Okay.
But did organize it.
I don't recall. off the top
I'd
of
have
my
to
head.
look. I
We
can
did
get you an answer on
organize
that
it.
tomorrow.
That's what I said.
Okay.
Did.
I can get you an answer for that for tomorrow night if you like.
Well, we don't need that. All we need to do is decide, is it gonna be an organized event?
Right.
Or, yes, it's gonna be an
Oh,
organized
that's Miss,
event?
it's Miss
Organized.
Harris's.
Okay,
yes.
that's done.
Unless a partner comes forward and wants it done.
I need clarification, just what happened. Are both organized?
The annual
Oh.
coat giveaway is an organized event that would go to Miss Phillips's list.
And the backpack?
That one's going to stay here because it's going to move to a city sponsored.
Okay.
Yes,
Thank you.
you're welcome. Now, y'all need a break yet? I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
I'm just teasing. Okay. So we're on 52. Do y'all have any questions about anything that might be there? I did put money in for hosting 2 dinner meetings next year. If you guys are not wanting to do that quite so soon, we can rethink that.
I would take one off.
that
We just did the Swanee River League, so I would take that one off. I think we only do one and we alternate them.
Which one is that for?
We
the North-
literally have done, we did the Northeast Florida League dinner meeting. We hosted that one in December
Mhm.
of 25, and then we just hosted the Swanee River League this past month.
Yeah. Yes, ma'am. Ms.
How
Young.
much of that was funded by the city?
Whatever we put in the budget.
Yeah, it was split between the Swanee River League and the city. So I think it
How
was
much?
2,500 or
Yeah, we probably spent close to, I still have receipts I haven't turned in, probably close to $1,500, I think, is but the Swanee River League, they contributed a massive amount of money
Mhm.
from their budget to offset it. So I think maybe $1,500, I'm thinking, for the Swanee River League.
Okay.
But now, we also need to keep in mind that we did receive the Blanche for free.
Right.
And that would have been
As they should.
Okay.
yeah.
But I mean,
Yeah, I mean, if we had to rent a place,
they're not gonna name everybody who donated, so let's don't call out one. I'm just saying.
okay.
Okay, thank you.
my point was let's just do one of these and alternate
agree.
them.
I just wanted to double check.
Okay.
So obviously, because this is something that goes on forever and well before we were here. But if I was to understand correctly, last time I actually was talking about the way these are planned with Lake Butler and maybe is it Live Oak? There's like historically we've taken turns like every
Mhm.
other year,
I think
and we've
so.
done both of them this year. So would we be expected by the other members of the league to do one this coming year?
We just need to let the league know that we're not going to
Okay.
that specific league, but yeah. I think we just let them know as long as we have good communication with them. And I would just merge these two. I would take out one of those line items and just have host an NEFL dinner /
Yeah.
SRL.
Yeah.
That way, whichever one we're doing that
Yeah.
year.
Okay.
All right. Is there anything else on that 52 that we need to discuss?
No.
No.
Not that I see.
All right. The books, subs, and memberships, that's kind of self-explanatory. And then expense training, whenever I get the list, from each of you about the travel. It will correspond over into the expense training, so I can take care of that as well when I get that.
All right.
Okay? Was there anything that I maybe omitted from the budget that maybe someone needed to have added in the budget? Did I overlook anything?
Looks good to me.
Looks good.
Okay.
Turn it back over to you, Miss Angie.
All right.
Now that we got through the first hour,
Sorry.
first department, not
For
even
the longest part
operational.
of the night. I know it's the first time you guys all get to sit together and discuss your budget, so I think the rest of the meeting we should zoom on by. So tell me to hit the brakes if I'm going too fast.
Let's go warp speed,
All right.
but not warp speed. Let's
So-
go understandable speed. Yes, sir,
Yes.
Mr. Carter.
Just curious.
Yes.
Do we think we found 15%?
Oh yeah, in our budget, yeah, big time.
Absolutely.
Well, good job, guys. Let's go.
Yeah, maybe 40%.
Good.
So next up, we have the city manager's department, and I'll turn it over to D. John.
Thank you, Angie. Mayor and council, proposed budget for fiscal year 2027 for the city manager's office is $1,087,893. That represents a 10.7% budget cut from the previous year. Personnel costs decreased by $82,979. Other current charges is where your events sit at, was decreased from 62,500. It decreased by 62,500 from 148,500 to 86,000. One of the events that we did take out was the barbecue festival. Not for anything because it is a budget neutral, but we're gonna take a year off from it. I think last year was pretty big, grew out, so we're gonna give it a year to rest. One of the exciting events that we do have that we're partnering with TDC on is the strongman competition coming in October. So we did put money in the for in-kind services. We average it's going to be $10,000. I don't know what that in-kind service is going to be, whether it is monetary or in-kind through Public Works and PD. Repairs and maintenance decreased $7,500. Travel increased by $6,000 due to the cost of training classes and travel. Rentals and leases increased by $9,400. Books, subscriptions, and memberships increased, and capital equipment added a line item for $352 where we'll be purchasing a vehicle for that cost. Any questions?
Could you elaborate what that strong man or strong what is it?
Strongman competition.
So
She wants a-
strongman competition, Mayor, if you want to, I'll try to.
Strong woman or
Well, it is a woman who I'm definitely trying to do some bench pressing against, but Dawn recommended that I did not do it. This is a worldwide event. One event has happened in America that I know of in Ohio in probably the last 2 years. Somehow they seen the great place of Lake City and wanted to make this the second annual for the United States. You're going to have athletes come from all over the world to come and train. I think we had one recently come in here and pull our fire truck. So you're going to see a lot of gladiator games. I don't want to spill the beans, but it's going to be some special guests that come to Lake City. It's going to be televised on Amazon, possibly. I don't want to give too much more information up on it, but I'm definitely excited
and
for
what
that
year
event.
this supposed to be in?
This is
This
in
year.
October,
October
of this
10th.
year.
This October?
Mhm.
Yes, ma'am.
I need to go work out.
Yeah.
So overall, like I said, it is a 10.7% reduction in our budget this year.
Fantastic.
And I'll turn it back over to Angie.
Any questions? Do we have any questions for D before we move on? Yes, sir, Mr. Carter.
I just wanted to make sure you are telling the folks when you're working on the organization of the strongman thing. I want to pick something up and move it around.
I think me and you need to go.
I know we
pull
talked
across
about
the lake.
Sure,
Yeah,
absolutely. We can take turns carrying each other around the lake.
I like it. You first.
All right. Thank you, Miss Angie.
All right. So next we have Audrey Sykes with the city clerk's office. I just want to give her some kudos. She was one of the directors or office charter officers that was able to cut her budget, her operating budget, 18%. So we do appreciate that. Thank you, Miss Sykes.
Good.
All right. Thank you, Angie. Oh, you lunch now.
Give yourself a pat on the back.
Okay. Okay, let's see here. I did already do some cuts. There was a 39% cut in travel. 23% cut in professional services. Let's see what else we have here. Most of the training that's left in there is definitely tied directly to certifications for myself and Michelle and Nikki. So we did keep those. Let's see. Everything else is pretty bare bones. I will say that in 52, our community shred-it days have been a huge success. I will tell you that the citizens that come by, they just express how thankful that they are that we do that event, and so definitely want to keep continuing to do that event for our citizens.
It's very necessary.
Yeah, they really enjoy it. I don't really think there was much more, unless you guys had any specific questions. There really isn't much there. We cut a lot out of the budget, and
Tight ship.
yeah, it's pretty tight. So
Thank you.
Any further questions?
Any questions from Ms. Audrey?
What is that various dinners, luncheons, and events? That's 700. What is that for?
on 52, that would cover things like going to a chamber event if they had like a women's breakfast, the chamber
Okay.
ball, any type of various dinners or luncheons where there's actually a fee to attend.
Gotcha.
Yeah. I didn't want to cut it completely out, so
Right.
yeah.
All right. So next up, we have Human Resources with Miss Billy Jo Bible. If you can come up, please.
Billy Joe.
Good evening. So my budget's probably one of the smaller ones in the city. I was able to cut quite a bit from my budget simply because risk and safety is coming out of my budget, so that would go into a new department. Also, we're able to cut professional services, and with contractual services, 20,000 you'll see is budgeted, but we will also be receiving a reimbursement for that 20,000 from Florida Blue, our healthcare provider for wellness. So that will be reimbursed back to us. Other than that, there's not a whole lot here. Any questions?
Anybody
much
have
would-
any questions?
Yes, how much was you able to cut?
Do you have it?
It was
It
I
was.
believe it was 16%.
It might have been a little bit more than that. It was more than 15%.
14 and
It was around 16 or 17%.
thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Billy Jo. Folks, we're about halfway, or we're an hour and a half in, so we're going to take a brief break, 5-minute break, and we'll see you guys back in 5 minutes.
What I'm doing, oh, to my here for.
CRA gets his own money for taxes.
Welcome back, everyone. We just finished up with human resources, and we are moving on from there. So I'll turn it back over to you, Miss Angie.
Okay, the next department we have is the city attorney, Clay Martin. He did an amazing job as well. He's an overachiever. He was able to cut his operating budget by 69%.
60 what?
I'll turn it over to Clay.
So, building on what Billy Joe said earlier, I think I may be the smallest and simplest budget and department in the city, with the exception of 2 line items in operating. They all went down by double digits. The one that went up was rentals and leases, because last year when we were forming this for the first time, we did not anticipate that the printing and copy volume would be beyond what a regular computer printer could accommodate, and so we had to get a larger machine, which cost more money. And then in book subscriptions and memberships, that went up by 37%, because we did not anticipate last year a membership in the attorney's equivalent of the ICMA, the International County and City Managers Association. There is an International Municipal Lawyers Association. We didn't anticipate that, so we're adding that in this year, hence the 35% increase. Everything else is fairly straightforward, I believe. But we took the exercise very seriously.
Very good.
All right, so next we have non-departmental.
Wait.
This is-
Does anybody have any questions for Mr. Martin?
Yes,
Sorry.
I do. I thought I'd seen something about rotary dues or something like that. Can you explain what that is?
So as part of my contract, as part of, I believe it's also in Mr. Rosenthal's contract, the city agreed to pay for dues to belong to a civic organization. That is the organization that I am a member of, and the city pays those dues on my behalf.
Is that the Rotary Club here in Lake City, or is that the one?
It's the Thursday lunchtime Rotary Club here in Lake City that meets at Parkview.
Yes, sir. I just wanted to make sure that everybody's aware of you being a Rotary Club member right here in Lake City, Florida. I think that's pretty good.
Thank you, Mr. Jernigan. Anything else? All right. Miss Angie, back to you. Sorry.
All right, so next we have non-departmental. This is kind of like the centralized account for the general fund, so it's like all the odd expenditures that we have. Flipping to page 70. We have our professional services. There's no change really from last year. Honestly, the only thing, the property insurance went down. That was when we were budgeting last year. We went with the increase of our prior insurance carrier. That's why it dropped so much. So this is the second year with the contract with Pidgeot. And that's basically all there's not really any changes. We still have the ARPA transfer for the new city hall. That's 1.9 million. To give that fund, I think it's roughly, we'll get to it, it's about 3.6 million towards purchasing a city hall or building a city hall. But other than that, that's basically it for non-departmental. Does anyone have any questions for me?
You said that the city hall item will come up in the future. What is that noise?
Yeah, that would be the 304 sales tax bond fund.
Okay. All right.
Next is the finance department. That's me. We were able to cut, I believe it was, we were able to cut 18% out of our operating budget. We cut out a good bit of travel. We only have the 2 conferences, the GFOA and the FGFOA. We were able to reduce, we found a vendor for the OPEB study. That's the other post-employment benefits study. That's part of the audit. So we reduced that from 8,000 to 5,000. we did take the computers out of our 52 account because we, coordinate with IT, and next year we won't need any. And that's basically it for my department. Does anyone have any questions for me?
No, ma'am.
All
Thank
right. And next we have information technology with Jason Dumas.
Jason.
The fun department, the technology is always just something happens, right? So the biggest thing on our budget this year that's made an impact, our increase in our budget, is going to be our servers we have to replace. They're 5 years old, and it's time to replace them. So and the cost of that's really expensive this year. But once we buy it this year, they're good for 5 years. You don't hear me?
Yeah, start over. I was trying.
We can hear you. Just speak a little. If you could start over and speak a little.
Okay. So the biggest change in our budget this year is the servers we're having to purchase. Ours are 5 years old right now, and they're due to be replaced. The cost of that's pretty expensive right off the bat, but we'll be good for another 5 years once we purchase those.
Is that the repairs and maintenance, or is that?
That's the 64
machine?
count.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, that's a big expense.
Yeah. So
And so over the next 5 years, it'll look more like the budget of.
you'll
last
have just the maintenance of the software, which is we have that already now. So
big expense.
It's our own little data center.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Bad words.
Anybody have any further questions? Thank you,
So
Jason.
the only other items within your budget that was alarming that set off a bell was the 46 account. Can you walk us through the repair and maintenance? Is that just spread out over a handful of things?
So yeah, this year we received the grant on some network security software we're using, and because the grants are inconsistent, we need to budget to continue to use that software. We're hoping to get that grant this next year, and we'll make sure we don't have that cost. We just don't know that going forward. So
All right, very good. Does anybody else have any questions for Mr. Dumas? All right, thank you, Jason.
Thank you.
All right, up next, we have procurement with Miss Brenda Carr.
Good afternoon. We were able to cut our budget 16%. We no longer have a vehicle lease. We now own that vehicle. And we are putting a mini split HVAC unit into the office at the warehouse. That's pretty much all the changes that we have. Are there any questions for me? Thank you.
Thank you, Miss Brenda.
Oh my goodness.
And up next, we have vehicle maintenance, Mr. Steve Brown.
Here he comes, Steve.
We'll start out with Steve Brown.
Goodness, man.
If you look at the first page or second page of our budget in fleet, you'll see that it's 80% personnel. That's because it's a very small budget from that perspective. We have 3 technicians in there and an admin assistant. The way we operate our fleet is each department pays for their own material as they use it. So if we buy tires for the PD, that comes out of their budget. So we really don't have an operational budget from that side. We did have this year our lift that we lift the cars up to change the oil and everything. It's getting antiquated and we need to replace that. So that's really the only thing we have in here this year. Any questions?
I don't have any questions. Anybody else have any questions for Mr. Steve on vehicle maintenance?
Wow.
Thank you, Mr. Steve.
All right, good job.
Look at the city of Lake
Right,
City.
so next we have general building. I had Miss Brenda Carr help me with this budget, if you don't mind.
So overall for the general building, we were able to cut the budget by 10%. There was 75,000 that we took out for repairs and maintenance, but out of capital building, there has been a significant increase because of their repairs that 5 Point School will need.
Where Where's that located? Is
It's
that-
under the 62 account, capital outlay building.
It's on page 102.
That's the 281,000.
Yes.
And that's all for 5 points. Everything else in the budget is regular maintenance for the building, utilities for this building.
Why is the-
Everything else is about the same.
Why is the dog park listed in this budget? I thought it was the budget that we're in now.
Well, if it's not completed before October, we're gonna still have that money in the budget to finish the project.
If it gets completed, then we'll remove it from the budget.
Oh, all right.
Yes, ma'am.
So y'all got to win.
September 30th.
Thank you.
Are there any questions?
Mr. Mayor, I do have one quick question, just for my curiosity. What all was involved in the HVAC repairs or replacement? Do we have to replace the entire air conditioning system for the?
Well, so far for the at the school, we've replaced 16. We have put in mini splits, 2 in each classroom of 8 classrooms, because the units that were in there were not operational, they did not function, and they weren't repairable. So if one of the units, so now that we have 2 mini splits in each classroom, if one of the units go down, we still have a backup unit. So it doesn't displace if we do have children out there.
Is the 140,000 what we expect to spend on it as we in totality doing the mini splits throughout the facility, or is that what we?
That would be for 16 more mini splits.
And would that complete the HVAC process for the units, at least the areas we're using at the moment?
It would.
Yeah.
Hope so.
And
Yes, sir.
I'd like to mention too that we're due to receive $100,000 of this $281,000 back from the county as soon as we get the agreement and anything signed.
Sure.
What's that for?
Well, that's the agreement that we have with the county. We're going to pay, that amount. They're going to pay $100,000.
Gotcha. So this budget, to be clear, what we're looking at now does not incorporate the fact that they're going to be pitching in, or is this just our portion?
No, this doesn't show that. So we're going to get $100,000 from the county. We'll subtract it from what we spent.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Brenda.
Oh my.
All right, next up is our police chief,
Come on
Gerald
down.
Butler.
Good evening. The police department budget this year, there are no capital projects. Talk with the city manager. Anything we need to do, we're holding off on. I'm going to try and find some grant money for a couple of items that we do need. We are currently in contract negotiations with the union for a 3-year agreement. So the bulk of my budget is labor intensive. It's personnel costs. And again, I have no capital projects. I did ask for additional officers. The city's 5-year strategic plan is 5 officers a year for 5 years. Last year I asked for increase. I received 1 officer, which helped greatly. This year, none, and also no records clerk for the public records issues that we're currently experiencing. The 1 increase I did ask for 2 additional licenses for the AI software for redaction to try and get the most out of the current records personnel that I have. However, with the annexations that going on in the city, I'm not going to get into specifics, obviously, but it will require me to redeploy officers and shuffle our beats around. So basically, my budget is bare bones this year for the PD.
Any questions for Chief and comments? What are some of those capital projects that you would have requested?
We're looking to get a couple of vehicles. The SWAT team, we're going to need something. The building is not big enough for the department anymore. I'm running out of space. So instead of buying extra vehicles through a grant, actually, which you're going to be getting in a report to council for us to purchase, we're going to be putting evidence processing equipment into a trailer with air conditioning and a generator so I can clear out a room when we do have a major crime scene, instead of trying to get everything and throw them into one of the trucks, we'll have it ready to go and we can deploy. As far as with the building, we had to include a second interview room, which we're currently paying on that. To get that, I had to actually take our supply room, get rid of that, and move that into another area. So really, and I've spoken with the city manager, anything we do at this point, I'm going to have to do with an outbuilding.
We should probably, put together that list so that we can send it to our lobbying firm as well for state funding, because they're supposed to create a large fund to help.
And one of the issues is up at where my current impound area is, up at the barn, we can't put any more structures up there. So if I take somebody's vehicle, I could have it for months or a year, depending on the case. Homicide, I could have for a long time. I'm responsible to return that vehicle in the condition I got it in. And right now I have nothing left for storage in order to put those vehicles in. They sit outside.
Yes, sir. Mr. Carter.
Just touching on what you just said, I think it would probably be a good idea to, if we're not already doing it, especially as we're cutting back in every department, putting together that wish list and making sure that those things are presented to Tallahassee.
Yeah, every director.
Not just with the PD, but as we're cutting everywhere, anything that is potentially something that we could need or find very useful, but that we're not doing now.
Or
See if we can get some.
That's an impending capital outlay.
Right. Or like using every inch of the building you've got. Right.
So how much did we cut the police department by?
There's an increase due to the contract negotiations. The salaries are going to go up. But again, without that, I tried to keep it as revenue neutral from last year as I could.
Thank you.
Any further questions for the chief?
Thank you.
Thank you, chief.
And next we have risk safety ADA. City administration tasked me with putting that budget together. And what I did was I gave, basically, I think it was 2024 was the last time we budgeted for risk safety. I took that budget and just basically duplicated it for this year. And then I added the 2 positions based on the job description salaries. So to fit in line with that. So it's pretty straightforward. It's a pretty small budget considering with a budget total of $319,000.
Any questions for Ms. Angie on this one?
Okay.
I'm sorry.
We have a question.
Go ahead.
These are the two different positions that we created one position, and then at yesterday's meeting agreed to create split it into 2. So these people don't exist yet, right?
No,
Correct.
they don't.
Okay. When do we hope to? Have we already put out for applications? Do we have?
We have. I would defer to Billy Joe on that.
Sure.
They exist. They just haven't been hired yet.
Oh yeah, they're out there somewhere, right?
We already conducted interviews for this when it was the director position.
Sure.
And so Mr. Rosenthal felt comfortable going with those applicants right now. And so the manager position was offered today and accepted, anticipating that person starting on August 17th, pending background check and that kind of thing. The other one, we're planning to hold off filling until October 1st.
Okay, just to begin the new year.
The safety portion.
Sure.
Yes, sir. Mm-hmm. Right.
Oh, thank you.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am, Ms. Young.
When will these applicants actually they've accepted the position, is that right?
Make sure to speak
When
into
will
the
they
mic.
actually?
Mike.
You will have one start on the 17th and one will be offered the job on October 1st.
All right.
May I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Mayor?
Yes, ma'am.
I just had a question. Since this person's going to be handling the ADA and as much conversation as we've had about that, should we put some money in there for some training expenses for ADA conferences and things like that? I don't see any of that in this budget, nor any memberships to any type of ADA professional organizations. And I think that's going to be critical for this person to be successful.
Absolutely.
Mr. Mayor, I completely agree. Sounds like Mr. Bell agrees too. Although I would say it's any number we chose would be relatively arbitrary until we know what those sort of things are. Usually a department director or something like that tells you.
So the budget is tight now. We're just not creating it. We're researching and looking at training for them. When we find that, we'll put it in. But the budget is very tight right now. We're concerned with getting them in, seeing what they know now, and then going from there.
That doesn't sound.
I would
Wait,
say
hold
it
on.
sounds like a reasonable.
Miss Young, and then
Okay,
yeah,
so
that
the
way we're not
person will
skipping over each other.
actually, assume the responsibility
Mm-hmm.
of the position.
Mm-hmm.
And we already know they're not trained for the position. I'm sure you know
No,
that.
no,
from the
we
interview.
hired, the reason we split it up is that we were looking for those skill sets. The person has some ADA skill sets already,
Okay,
so we wouldn't have hired them if they didn't. Then the other person has some safety skill sets. We wouldn't have hired him if he didn't.
okay. So we're gonna work them a short while to see what they know and to see what they need training.
Absolutely, and we're definitely going to have some training, but we need to know what they know before we spend money on training.
I say it still need to be budgeted some funds for that.
Mr.
And
Carter?
we will be budgeted something, but we want to do it after they come in.
Yeah, I would say that I mean, obviously, like everything else, that line item exists for every department for various reasons. So, but I just think, I mean, that seems like a reason because we're creating the positions now and hiring them at the beginning of the next fiscal year. That seems like a reasonable budget amendment once we have a number. Because I mean, we could put in $1 or $10,000 or $50,000. We don't know what it's going to be. So, I mean, I don't. It's certainly necessary. I just don't know what putting a kind of a random number in now.
I think
would
we
help.
should have already done some research concerning the training. But-
Maybe.
Okay.
Miss Angie.
So actually, in their travel and training combined, they have about almost $20,000. So I believe that's a fair start.
Okay, so there is some.
That was a good start.
Where we at?
Thank you, Miss Angie.
That's probably plenty.
Great start.
Right.
Probably,
So
yeah.
Where's that at?
It's between
now
training.
we have Public Works with the Steve Brown.
Right.
Like how you
No,
did that.
on this time, Steve.
So just doing the math on ours, roughly, we would have had to cut 1.5 million to get to the 15%. By taking our original budget, working with staff, we went ahead and cut 1.5 million off the top. Then we cut an additional 400,000 today. This budget is inflated in some degree because we have the splash pad in there, obviously.
Sure.
And then we also have the Gwynn Lake project for District 12. So each district has one road in it that is approved or in the budget to be approved. Other than that, it's pretty much business as usual. There will be one correction. We accidentally took out some of our operation, which was just 85,000. So we'll put that back in there whenever we go back in. But other than that, we've took out the 2 million so far.
Did you
Oh.
say
Go ahead, Miss Harris.
one road?
One road per district. In order to get down the 15%, we had to take out $1,050,000 just to get the first 15%. So we took it down to one road per district. That's how we achieved that.
Yes, sir, Mr. Carter.
You said you cut almost $500,000 today. Is that reflective in the books we got when we got here today?
Should have. They corrected them this morning. That was the equipment out of our 64 account.
Okay,
That was
that's
that
what
was
I asked
cut
what
this
that-
morning.
That was so. That was equipment that was deemed not absolutely necessary. I'm assuming.
So what we've got is, again, a lot of our equipment, as it starts to get dated, we go ahead and start looking at replacing it. We separated our warehouse out there, and some of it went to distribution collection, some of it went to gas, to update our forklift so that we can load and unload equipment out there and supplies as they come in. We had put a forklift in the budget. Our asphalt trailer that has an automatic dump on it, rather than having to shovel it out, we had put in some of that stuff. So that's the kind of stuff that we cut off the top.
See that.
I'm satisfied. Gwynn Lake and the splash pad.
Yes,
Sir,
ma'am.
Mr. Jernigan.
Yes. I'm so grateful that you clarified that we can only do one road basically a year, and you gave a at least $1 million in every district. That's pretty good there. I really appreciate that.
Yes, sir.
Some people don't understand how this works, and I didn't understand it in the beginning when I first started. But however, I totally understand now that we get one paved road for every district.
So what we've done historically is we try and do at least a road per year. And that is based again on safety. If we have two in one district that is in really dilapidated conditions, it's really bad, we have erosion underneath it or anything like that, there are times that we would look at that scenario and say we need to do those. But historically, we try and do at least one road in every district.
Thank you.
Have we ever looked at, and I think we might have talked about this last year, a heat map for road damage?
We did.
Where roads are the most damaged in the city, rather than making it a political district allocation, allocating it to where it's needed the most.
So we did look into some of that stuff. There were some devices that they set on the dash of the vehicles where they drove around. There was cost associated with all of that. So we resorted back to, again, we go into the roads that we've got the most maintenance on. Working with IT, they've got a new program now where they can actually, when the guys go out and do a repair on a road, they take a picture of it, they log where they're at and what they've done. So we can go back and look where all the repairs have been made in a calendar year. We've been using that data as one of our factors. If we've got 5 patches on MLK and 10 patches on Aberdeen, we kind of look at that as a qualifying factor as well, again, with how many people live on the street and the condition of that road as on totality.
My thought on that is if we had a tool that would keep us from doing all those patches to begin with, it might save us time and money on the upfront, or on the back end, by repaving those roads that are falling apart before they.
So I'm going to say this before y'all run me out of the door. That is definitely doable, but it's hard to do with a rollback rate.
Sure,
We have to fund that in some form or fashion. Paving roads is a very expensive task. Again, you can see when you go to just a small road's $150,000, $200,000. If you do one in each district, you're getting over north of $1 million, $2 million. So, but it's all very doable, Mayor, definitely.
Mr. Jernigan?
Yes. One other question. Do you collaborate with the county on any of the monies that they may have left over in their budget to try to get some things done in the city?
Yes, sir. So not necessarily leftover budget. We don't share budgets like that, but we do compete for SCOP grants through the DOT. So we're all digging in the same pot of money.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Thank you so much.
Ms. Young?
Mayor, I need you to elaborate on or clarify that it being political. And the reason I say that is because people who hear you, all they heard is that we make it political when we choose roads, and that's already been said, and that's such a great myth. I'll need you to clarify.
That was so that wording comes strictly from boundaries, right? So a political boundary is a state line, a district line, a county line. I don't mean anything by an area that is politically leaning toward any one person or any one party. I mean strictly within those political boundaries, because the districts are political boundaries. The city of Lake City, the borders of the city of Lake City are political boundaries. Okay. So rather than saying that there's one per district, defining where the worst roads are, based on heat maps and addressing I think it would save us money long term. But you're right, it is a rollback here. It is hard to do to implement these things.
And we take there's so many factors we put into it.
He's pinching them together to try to create 2 pennies out of one. But
well, every time I go in his office with 2 pieces of paper, I come out with 1.
Sure, he just rips it up in front of you. Doesn't even look at it. Just rips it up in front of you. I've seen it happen.
Okay, so I appreciate that.
Yeah.
And I just think that's very imperative that we get some clarity on that. Because it'll take just the political roads are chosen by political
district.
Yes. And that will take it and blow it out of proportion. So I just want everybody to be clear. Mr. Brown he's very good at what he does.
Yes, yep.
He shows no favoritism except to me. I'm just playing. He shows no favoritism. I'm serious. He shows no favoritism. And when I've gone to him, he explained to me why he can or why he can't. And I appreciate it. I don't take offense to it. I appreciate it. I think that's valuable to the city.
Yeah, he could be brutal.
It's always straightforward. I was just asking the question because it was brought up that there was a road per district.
Thank you, Mayor.
Yes.
Mr. Carter.
Yeah, just to add a little bit to what Ms. Young is saying, I think one other important aspect to it too is if you were to go with like a heat map solely as a way to determine these things, you'd find that you may end up spending a ton of money. Some of the worst roads that I've seen in the city are also some of the least traveled. They've not gotten the attention because they're the least used. So you end up with, if you focus too much on the ones that need the most repair, you also may be spending a lot of money on roads that almost no one's driving. So
Right.
I think that with one of the things that we all should be doing, and I think do pretty well, is be tied into our individual districts. So, I mean, I have people mention specific things to me, and I have a large amount of people that mention specific roads and things like that, and each of us are probably experiencing that. So I think that there is a political element to it, in that we serve our people in our districts, and the people in the districts are the ones telling us what needs doing. And if we can only do one thing, and I got 20 people asking for this and 2 asking for
Right,
this,
right.
I'm telling Don.
Yeah, we had 18 roads when we started. So it's not like we're not taking a swing for the fences.
That would have been a budget buster. The the software specifically that I'm talking about, what it does is it overlays traffic patterns with the roads.
Oh.
So it's a dual. It's data driven.
Interesting.
Yeah, it is. Yes, ma'am.
So, and another thing is, if I see a road that I believe is in worse condition than another road, looks is not what determines how bad of a condition the road is in. And so I explain, because I was taught this by the dynamic Steve Brown. It's not what our physical eyes can see, right? But most times it's under
Yes.
the asphalt.
That's
right?
correct. That's
And
correct.
engineers come in and they determine, right, the condition of the road. So I don't get to choose what road I want.
Right.
So that makes it not political as well.
Thank you, Ms.
Thank
Young.
you. Education.
Mr. Carter.
Yeah, I have a procedural question on the roads that we're looking at paving. What type of paving are we looking at doing? Is it tearing up the old road? Putting in the new road?
Yes. So one of the hardest challenges I had when I took over Public Works 5 years ago was the norm, if you will, was they would go in and overlay the roads, and that causes stormwater issues. It causes damage to vehicles because they can't get out of their driveways. I spent my first year really getting beat up because of this. So what we did is we would rather do 2 roads correctly than 5 roads incorrectly. So now we mill them. Whatever we mill off, we put the same exact amount of pavement on them.
Yes.
And if we do a parking lot, we do substrate, 6 inches of lime rock, 1.5 inches of asphalt. So we have a standard now that we try and go by. To Mr. Jernigan's point, that is something we have partnered with the county with. When we do a road or something, we use DOT standards. It's not a standard, it's the standard, and it's just the easiest one to go by. So when we have a contractor come in and they ask us what our specifications are, we roll right back to that.
Sure. Because the pour over stuff has turned into a nightmare. So I wanted to really make sure that we weren't doing that anymore.
We are not.
My neighborhood's got some, and
You
like
have
said,
some.
because we're built on a swamp when they put a pond at the end of it. So
Yep.
One last question. Am I correct in understanding what you said earlier, that there's a particular type of vehicle that we've decided not to get, we've taken out of the budget for this year, that would help with this long term?
It was a trailer that we were using, so we've been progressively trying to improve our fleet. We went from just putting down straight cold mix to being able to use asphalt. We've got machines now where we can mill small areas. We have a intersection in District 12 that we're fixing to go in there. We're going to mill the intersection ourselves. The paving machine, it wasn't a paving machine, I said that wrong. The trailer that we would use, we go to Anderson and buy it. It's called a hot box, and it keeps the asphalt hot until we get it out there and get it to lay it down. It was a trailer that was better equipped for that. We're using a smaller trailer.
So when we're repaving roads in the city, the hands and feet doing it are us, right?
Depends on the size of the road. If it is a small intersection, there's a very good chance that the Public Works Department is putting all your concrete down, all your curb down, your gutters down, and putting in your asphalt. Once it gets to a size of a road where a machine is need to make the level the asphalt flat, then we don't use it.
What's the rough price tag on a trailer like you're talking about there?
I believe it was 30,000.
I want to say, do you have that?
Yeah, I can pull it back up for you, but
would definitely
we
make
cut a
sure-
bunch out of the top of them this morning.
I would definitely make sure that we add that to any kind of wish list grants, et cetera.
Sure.
To give to the lobbyists. You know, I mean,
Sure.
that's a whole lot less than a $1 million fire truck. And we
Yeah.
had to get some of those equipments that way.
Yeah, we're a lot more proficient than the fire department.
We have a wish list.
I'm suggesting we kind of make
Paris, that wish list.
No. Yes, sir, Mr. Jernigan.
Did you say something about the fire department, a fire truck or something? Yeah, that's.
Stop it, Jernigan.
I totally understand that. However, when you talk about the fire truck, it's all about the it's all about the needy and not the greedy. So when it comes to the fire truck, that's what it's about.
Thank you, Mr. Jernigan. Thank you, Steve.
Mr. Mayor.
Yes, sir, Mr. Carter.
What?
Yeah, I'm always talking over your head like you talk over mine.
Great. Glad we see eye to eye. Miss Angie, go ahead and move forward.
All right, next we have public assistance. Now, please keep in mind, we are going to the rollback rate.
Say again?
We are going to the rollback rate. Next is public assistance.
Sure.
So, on page 135, we have animal shelter services. We kept the same amount. I believe Mr. Rosenthal had mentioned about doing an RFP. He can correct me if I'm wrong.
Oh, you're right.
Okay, and then the Columbia County Senior Services requested the $82,500, the same as last year, along with the Columbia County Historical Museum, $5,000. We got a request from the Chamber of Commerce of only $7,500 this year. That was to help with Santa and lights and things of that nature. And then we kept the mayor's matching grant at $100,000, and that's currently what's in there.
And we also got an off-record request for $200,000 from Councilwoman Young.
Okay.
200,000.
We do have some of the entities requesting funds in the room tonight, but before we do that, last year we did something with the mayor's matching grant where we. Do you have what has been spent out of that account?
Out of the mayor's matching grant?
Yeah.
Sure.
I think it's around half right now of that number. So it's approaching
Yes.
the $50,000
So
in the calendar year.
we had split it last year where 50,000 went to Richardson
Yep.
Community Center, and then 50,000 was part of the mayor's matching grant. I do believe we've spent just about all of.
Yes, and Jerry has some that are ready for payment now, so there's more coming out. I just don't know.
We can't hardly
I-
hear.
So we haven't finalized the current applications that we have.
Yeah.
So but we are reaching that 50,000. I would say right now we're at the $26,000
Yeah,
mark.
but the rest of them, the ones that are being finalized that Ms. Cheryl just mentioned, should account for the rest of that.
Yes,
Very
that's
good.
correct.
Before I would like to see what we did last year and taking and splitting that again. I don't think that. I think the $50,000 seems to be a sweet spot. We didn't even come close to it the year before, but I think allocating that other $50,000 like we did last year to RCC for their youth programs, I think is the right thing to do.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
I would like to, and just thinking when you say that, the proposal that I have, it may kind of take, that may kind of be incorporated in what I have to propose to you all.
Mhm.
So, is this the place here?
Yes,
Okay.
ma'am.
Yep.
I am asking or proposing to the council that for recreation, that we set $200,000 for recreation. And Richardson Community Center is requesting $100,000. So I would say set $100,000 for Richardson Community Center. The other $100,000, okay, so I would like to see, we have 2 recreation hubs. We have Richardson Community Center and we have Annie Meadows Park. And I would like to see Richardson and Community Center and Annie Meadows Park, keep in mind the $100,000 would be set specifically for Richardson Community Center, okay? So the Richardson Community Center and Annie Meadows Park kind of form to one unit. And my suggestion is to form a small board or committee or that will actually oversee recreation with these two centers as one unit. And when we have these, what we're trying to do is get the community to work as one when it comes to recreation. And the 501Cs that come and request, like from the mayor's matching grant, then they will request from this one unit that is operated by this committee or this board. Can you see what I envision? You see what I'm saying?
You're saying both of them work together.
Right.
But Annie Maddox is privately owned, isn't it?
We need Annie Meadows Park.
It's privately owned.
We need Annie Meadows Park. It's privately owned, but you ride through there in the evenings and see how many sport.
I done been through that with
Okay.
soccer and basketball.
Okay,
and all
they're
that.
private, but we need them. We don't have a recreation center. Richardson don't belong to us. I understand they belong to the county. We fund things, so we need them as a hub. And I think we need to incorporate both of them. That our communities, our entities work together when it comes to recreation for our young people and seniors, not just young people. That's a proposal. And I would like for you all to
Mr.
really
Carter.
consider.
That's a lot to unpack.
It is.
It is. So Richardson Community Center is not owned by the city. However, it is owned by the people, and
It's
that
owned
does
by the
make that does
county.
make a difference to me. The county is us plus some more people, right? But it is owned by the local government, and it's within the city limits, contributing to it. We've done it the last couple of years to varying degrees. I don't have any general issue contributing to Richardson Community Center or their projects. I don't really understand the part about combining it with a private organization. They could be Annie Maddox Park, or it could be Wild Adventures. It's a private park. They can do whatever they like there. I'm not seeing the need for
Forget the building, if you will. Forget the building that is private.
which building?
Annie Meadows. Forget the property that is private. And consider all of our community sports and other recreations that utilize it. So what if what if Annie Maddox say, well, just what if they say, and I'm just speaking on me. They're not even here. This is just what I envision. So what if Annie Maddox say, okay, we're a private entity. We're going to charge everybody that come through here. They're going to come to us and ask us for funding to pay the fees for Annie Maddox.
What?
Mr. Carter, finish
Did
your
it?
thought, and then Mr. Jernigan.
Those two facilities are about 4 blocks apart, right?
And your point is?
I'm asking. I'm making sure I'm
Yes.
okay. That's a lot to unpack. Honestly, like I said, I don't even really know where to start. So let me just say, I want to get on your side to some degree. I do think, as a larger picture, it is a shame that the city got out of Parks and Rec altogether.
Thank you.
Okay, so I think COVID and a lot of other things contributed to that falling apart and dying. When I grew up, I went to the rec center. And I learned how to play tennis badly on what is now truck parking spaces. You know, I would love to see the city get back to a place where we're able to create a Parks and Rec department again in some fashion. I've been giving this a lot of thought, and one of the things that has occurred to me is partnering with the county, perhaps, to create a Columbia County Parks and Rec department that incorporates the city. We contribute, they contribute. but again, this is all big stuff. In the year where we're cutting as much as we can, I hadn't even given it really any meaningful thought in my head as I'm thinking about this, and as I'm thinking about the millions it will take to form a proper Parks and Rec department again. I'm hoping that we and the economy are healthy enough to do that in 5 to 10 years, start developing those sort of things. So, and then again, for me, when I'm thinking about this stuff, the privately owned park, Andy Maddox Park, doesn't come into this in my head at all. Like I said, the city used to own the Richardson Community Center. Now the county owns it. It is still owned and run by the people. It serves the people. If you go in and they're using that for most of those things, from my experience, you're not really paying, right? You're using it. I played pickleball there. Nobody's asked me for any money. It's serving the community, and it's at the.
You're not paying.
I think maybe you pay $1 or $2 to play inside.
Money.
Something like that. Okay.
Okay.
Mr. Jernigan,
So-
are you finished with your thought? Yeah.
I need to.
I'm finished at the moment. So I'm just saying a lot of big thoughts about the very big thing. I don't think that I'm not seeing a world where we're incorporating Andy Maddox into a here's $200,000 thing. You're
That's
already
not what I
suggesting
said.
putting $50,000 again towards the event.
Yeah.
I mean towards the center. They've asked for 100,000. The Richardson Community Center has,
Yes, I believe so. They'll
and
come up.
that's not represented in this at all at the moment, right? Okay.
No.
So
That's all the thoughts I have right now.
Mr. Jernigan, then we'll come back.
Yes. Wow. I get confused in semantics sometimes, but anyway, Mayor, I think that's a good idea that we help fund the Richardson Community Center. I think that 50,000 is just a little bit too much. I mean, too little, and I would suggest and recommend that maybe 75,000 or maybe even that 100,000 to go to that center. And the reason why I say that, because there's a massive amount of young people who comes through there, and they are looking for people like that young man there, and that teacher right there, and that business owner right there. They're calling these people like coach. They calling them like sir, ma'am. So they're looking for that guidance. Sometimes they don't get from home, and I'll just keep it real. So I think that 50 is just a little bit not enough, So I suggest and recommend that we go to maybe 75, and that 100,000 would be it'll be a good start for them. But that 75 would definitely help them in a way that they need. And again, I'm speaking from what I see versus what they do on a daily basis out there. I know that those they put their whole heart and soul into those young people to make sure that they're successful in life. It don't necessarily have to be a sport. There's a lot more going on out there than just sports. And I couldn't believe it once I seen it, So, and keep in mind, these are professionals here, teachers that's got master's degrees, and they have to give these kids. They help them with their homework. They help them when they being bullied at school or being bullied at the community center. There's a lot going on that these young people do out there. And they looking up to this group of individuals right here. So I suggest just stick to the community center and give them a little bit more than we gave them last year. That's just a suggestion now, and that's my take on it.
Come back to you, Ms. Harris. Ms. Young.
That does not cover recreation. And Richardson during summer camp, I think we paid for. Can one of them come to the podium?
Yeah, we'll have them come up in just a
Okay,
minute.
we paid
In fact, we're
for
going to go through all of them.
whatever number we paid for summer
think it
camp.
was 50.
It wasn't enough. Well, they can only hold whatever the amount, right? They can only hold that many. So it's like we're limited. We need another hub. So go ahead, Mayor. So I don't know what it is that about Annie Maddox. I don't expect for Carter to see it, but I expect for Harris and Jernigan, I expect for you to see it. The necessity of us needing these two properties for our young people mainly.
Okay, so
Well, hold on. Are you finished?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, Ms. Harris.
Go ahead.
so since you called my name, I think last year the mayor gave 50,000, right?
Yeah.
Did the city give 50,000?
We all did. No, the city
did not.
gave
So what-
$50,000 instead of it going into the mayor's matching grants. It was $50,000 was set for the mayor's matching grants. $50,000 was an allocation to Richardson Community Center.
So that was 100,000. We'll just say from the.
Yeah, it was. We split the mayor's matching grant, which was set for $100,000. There was only 50 to give out, and that the other 50 went to Richardson, which is what I was proposing, is to do the same thing this year.
Okay, so. And then you all came back again for funds for over the summer program. Did you all get money from the county? How much did you get? Did the county match the city, or what was they matched it 100,000, or was it
Mr. Mayor,
100,000?
if I could just ask, if we're going to have a conversation with folks in the audience, it would be nice if they were at the microphone.
Yep. So Ms. Young gave the proposal. So I would really like to hear from all the folks in the crowd that are here to ask for things. So we'll start with Richardson. If you guys will come up, since the conversation's on that,
You cut me off. I wasn't talking.
we'll come back to it. You can keep talking, but
Mayor, I would like for Miss Nicole, being and that she's run this program for so many years, and I even want to ask her about the proposal, since this is her area.
Sure.
She's experienced in this area, educated in this area. I want to know from you, Miss Nicole, did you hear the proposal?
Yes, the proposal that you made to me.
The proposal?
I did.
Very clearly?
I did.
Okay, can I hear your thoughts on the proposal and the need for the community for two hubs, and how does the proposal sound to you?
Recreation is something obviously that we all can agree that we need. And not saying that Richardson Community Center is the only one that can do recreation. We've just done it. I want to make sure that we're able to do what we do, but I understand the need at Annie Maddox Park too. We've partnered with them. It's been a little while since we've been able to be out there on the property. I know there was some things about ownership and things like that, but we've used the football fields, we've used the pavilions over there. I mean, not the pavilions it's there, but the area over by the concession area. So we understand. We've taken community walks with summer camp down to Annie Maddox Park, and we played on that playground just to get the kids out and in the community. I don't want it to sit there and not be used. I think it's a good facility, but like you say, it is private, so I don't really know the parameters of being able to use it. I don't have a problem. I don't think my board would have a problem with partnering on like a community board to come up with events and ideas for the residents of Columbia County. That is our main purpose, to try to provide enrichment programs and things for people to do. That is one of the things that draws people in the community. It helps the quality of life, having events and things for families and children and seniors. And when you see them all together on the same facility, we see that a lot at Richardson. I mean, it's fulfilling to walk in there and see 9:00 at night, a pickleball game finishing up while practice is finishing up, tutoring kids are leaving. I mean, that's very fulfilling to see that happening in the community and know that you're serving a purpose. So I think that's one of the things that we want to be able to continue to provide. That's why we do come to you guys every year and look for that support and that funding. We are pretty much in an even three-way split between you guys, the county, and what we're able to do on our own to keep our programs going. So I do see your vision. I know there's some legalities to it possibly about being able to use the private facility, but I do feel that there's worth in Animatics Park that would be great for the whole community.
And I'm sorry, there are. I don't know what a legality would be for using a private car. We're using it, and Ms. Nicole just said they take the youth over to Animatics Park and they utilize that park. We're utilizing it already.
My only thought is that with private ownership at any given time, that utilization can be cut off.
Right.
And they can say, thanks for the money, but don't come back here.
No.
That is absolutely on private property. You can tell anybody to get off your private property and bar them from coming. And Miss Nicole said it herself that there have been issues in the past where people weren't able to use that park. I'm not comfortable giving money to a private park. Absolutely not.
You missed the point. You're not giving the money to Animatics Park.
If we give it to Richardson can make their own
100,000.
relationships.
That's the only.
I would
that's
only give
100,000.
money. I would only give money to Richardson Community Center.
I don't know what you all have against Animatics, but
privately owned.
But no. Let me
clear,
finish.
I don't have anything
Listen,
against-
Miss Harris.
Because you say
Sorry.
y'all.
Well,
I'm sorry. I led the.
Thank you.
Go ahead.
So we are already utilizing that area. When the constituents, when the citizens take their youth there, we're utilizing it. And I want you all to go there. Go there this evening. You can probably go there now, and it's jam packed. And it's not my dollars; it's taxpayers' dollars who are already utilizing that park. I mean, I'm just for what's right.
But at any given time, anybody can be barred from using that park. At any time. And there's no predictability to it.
We can be voted off of it on the county.
Yeah, 100%.
The board can vote us from using it from
Well,
the county.
No, a public property is a public property. You can use a public property if it has open hours. There is no. So,
when we do charge for the,
if you guys are open, can you exclude somebody from the public? Who you
No,
can't.
we cannot.
Because it's a public
Correct.
property. You can't do it. Private property, even if there's a community event going on, if they call the police and they say, "Hey, I don't want this person there," those people can't be there.
Mary, that's to the extreme.
It's a
but go ahead.
And I did just want to clarify. I know there was a comment made that we do charge for some programs. Those are programs that are open when we're not open. So we have to have someone come and open the facility, and that's where the charge comes in. But if the community center is open, there's no charge to participate in open play.
Mr. Carter, you had a question, then Mr. Jernigan.
Yes.
Did you?
So, just to reiterate what you said already, the bottom line is it's privately owned. We have even if we're donating money to it, we have little to no oversight over that particular property. I mean, we don't own the Richardson Community Center, but again, it is public property. If there's some sort of significant issue, we can at least appeal to the county commission, and we've been working pretty good with them. So I think sticking to the public property at the moment makes perfect sense. Richardson Community Center has a long history of doing a good job with all kinds of stuff. I like the idea the mayor suggested of continuing what we did last year, which was the 50 and the 50, if I understand it correctly.
We didn't do 100,000 last year. We did 50,000 last year. We need to do 100,000 this year.
And just for clarification, also, we did get the 50 from the mayor's grant, and then I did come and request money for summer camp, which was 20,000. That 100,000, we would not be coming back to ask for any additional funds. So it's not like I would come back. I wouldn't come back for summer camp if we were able to get the 100.
So to be clear, then I misunderstood you, or you misspoke. So last year we did not give 50 from the grant and 50 from something else.
We gave
50 and 20.
So what we did last year, just to make it clear,
Sure.
you see that there's $100,000 for the mayor's matching grant in there. We took and we made that $50,000 for the mayor's matching grant. The $50,000 we took out of the $100,000 we allocated to Richardson Community Center.
Right.
And so it wasn't a mayor's matching grant; it was an allocation to Richardson Community Center, diminishing the mayor's matching grant down to $50,000.
Right.
There's nothing else.
And then, Mr. Mayor,
Then we did the $20,000
$20,000
for
is
summer
for the
camp.
summer
So in total, we gave Richardson
$70,000.
Community Center $70,000
That's
last year.
exactly right.
Yeah.
And
Mr. Jernigan, or
Yes,
you finished, Mr. Carter?
Yeah, for now.
Mr. Jernigan.
Okay, again, Ms. Young, I totally understand your vision.
No, you don't.
And you say no, I don't, but I'm saying I understand your vision. I can look at it and I can see it. I don't, and the reason why I can see it because when I was 6 and 7 years old, I played at Animatics Park, so I know the vision. But now things has changed. Everything is futuristic. You know, people change. It becomes private. You know, we can't get the money. We can't do this. We can't do that. So, and that's the only thing I'm looking at is that it's the future now, and I want to continue to patronize Animatics Park. I want to continue to be able to watch those kids out there on the football field, the volleyball field, and having different events out there. I want to continue to do that. Okay, and again, and I'm under the same impression as the mayor, and that's a private entity, and I know we have spent monies out there before, and there's no accountability.
Okay.
So, with that being said, I'm not in favor of not being transparent. When I can go to the community center and pull their books and say, hey, what did you do for this? And they sent us a itemized list of what's going on. So I'm in favor of stuff like that, transparency. I don't know where some of the monies has been spent in those in those areas. I have no idea. And I would like for that board to come in and join in with the community center. They could work together. I love seeing stuff like that. I don't want to never see
No money.
any division when it comes to the children.
Let it go.
So Animatics is one entity that is private. But those kids, they go to the community center and they go to Animatics Park. So I'm just looking at the children is what I'm looking at. Okay? So again, I don't know if I'm confusing to you or whoever. I love the fact that the mayor gave the $50,000 and then came back and gave 20, in which I don't think that's enough. I think we should give just a little bit more. That 100,000, I think it will cover, and then maybe the county will give them 100,000 as well. So, but you know, I get caught up sometimes when somebody say I don't understand my own community where I was raised and brought up at. I don't. My mom worked there. I don't understand that, you know. So it's bothersome. But again, I'm all in favor of spending those monies, and I know exactly where they're going to be in that community at Richardson Community Center. I know all three of those people right there, and if they can't do what's right, we pull that too. It's just that simple. So that's my take on it.
Thank you so much, Mr.
Thank you, Mr. Jernigan. Ms. Harris?
All right. I see your vision. I see how you can come up with them working together. But what I don't see is Nicole can only speak for what she feels. She's not the complete board. The board would have to come together and say, yes, we want to combine with Animatics.
Not a combine.
Listen. When you're talking about them getting the money, it is a combine.
Not a combine.
How you gonna argue for Animatics and they're not even here asking for anything?
Hold on. Let's
Go
finish your
ahead.
thought.
Go ahead.
So I don't, if they're here, we're gonna give $50,000. The county is gonna give however much. They're gonna put in their amount.
Ms. Young?
Let me make this clear. I'm not arguing for Animatics. I'm stating a proposal for the city. For the city.
You want the city to take over?
Wait. No, wait. I'm saying how that can be a help for the city when it comes to recreation. And I already stated that they're not here to speak for themselves.
Mhm.
So, and I can't speak for them. I'm speaking on behalf of the city. This is a proposal.
About a
That-
privately owned.
Hold on.
Wait now,
Let her
let me
finish.
get there. So we have 501Cs that stand at that podium and ask for funding. Do we ask them if they're operating out of a private entity? Do we ask them that question? No. That's a 501C that runs that recreation. That's a 501C.
Okay.
So when a 501C come here, we better ask them if they're operating through a private park.
Okay. Anna,
Because most of them are operating or running their practices and all through Anna Meadows. Come on, make it make sense. It's a 501C.
I'm gonna just say no.
They may need us, but we need them just as much as they need us if we're gonna run recreation.
All right.
So
Okay. We do have some other community help here tonight, so we're gonna shift gears. We'll come back to this list
We can
totally.
table this.
But we're gonna have we'll go ahead and have the animal shelter come up and speak to their proposal, and we'll go down and we'll have it go like that. Columbia County Senior Services, I don't see anybody here from them. The chamber's not here, neither is the Historical Museum. But we do have the animal shelter. We have Richardson Community Center, who we've already heard from. Do you guys have anything further? And then we have the ranch rescue. Are you guys wanting to speak at the podium as well? Okay. Okay. We'll turn it over to Humane Society to introduce what they wanted.
I think I overheard you guys in the beginning saying that this is probably going to take about 2.5 hours. So I know everybody's tired. So I'm Debbie Griffin. I am on the board of directors as of the beginning of the year this year. So I have some disjointed thoughts based on the conversation and the budgeting that I'm hearing tonight. So bear with me. So we submitted our request. Granted, it was on Friday. So I'm not sure that everybody got a copy of that and everybody got a chance, honestly, to review it. So because unfortunately you have weekends and just your own time. So we have requested more funding than what has been the budget. So we would like for you guys, if you would, to review that. We understand that your departments have done an incredible job cutting expenses. Our request is different than just cutting expenses because we're driven by demand of the public for the services, not expansion. We're not asking for additional funding to create programs or grow the organization. We're actually asking for the resources needed to continue providing the same level of animal care and control that the city depends on a regular basis. The number of animals needing our care has not decreased. The cost has increased. Everything about it, veterinary services, the vehicles, you guys have talked about that, with the ACOs going out, the vehicle cost. We're driving an old rickety vehicle that could fall out any minute. So we need to address that. So the medications, utilities, everything that we're dealing with has gone up as far as care is concerned. The request reflects the true cost of maintaining this essential public service. Our goal is to ensure that every resident in the city continues to receive the same responsive, humane animal services that they have come to expect. So the question is not whether or not the need has gone down. It hasn't. The question is whether the funding will keep pace with the cost of our providing the services.
So without adequate funding, the city's ability to provide humane society, provide humane, effective animal control services would be compromised.
Yeah, please.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Would be compromised. Continued support allows Lake City Humane Society to remain a reliable partner in protecting public health and safety while providing compassionate care for the animals entrusted to us every day. Our request is based on the value of the services we provide, the cost of delivering those services, and our shared commitment to the residents and the animals of the city of Lake City. We appreciate the city's partnership and respectfully ask for your continued investment in this essential public service. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Yeah. Hold on. We've got a question. Vice Mayor Young.
The first requester, you said you're not asking to run programs. What does that mean?
We're not asking for additional funding to run programs. In other words, not expanding the services, maintaining the services. You're welcome.
Thank you, Ms. Young. Yes, sir, Mr. Carter.
Just to be clear, in the what we have requested here, you're asking for 300,000 from this year's budget, 350,000 from the following budget, and 400,000 the year before that. Is the intention or belief that the request would increase roughly $50,000 every year, or what is the? Obviously, we're just working on this budget. I find that way of putting it kind of interesting.
Can I take that one? Yeah, go ahead. So the reality is that's what we need today, what we're asking for 3 years from now. So understanding that you guys are in a budget crunch and you're doing everything you can, we decided that the best approach would be to taper it. So that's how we came up with that approach.
Does the increased ask from the city reflect the decrease in funding from the county this year?
The way that's a great question. Thanks, James, for asking that question. What we're dealing with is that this county's a big county, but we have a city contract.
Mm-hmm.
So we only have to take city animals based on the contract. So what the public has figured out is if they go to Walmart and drop animals, guess who gets to deal with it? The city. Us. But those animals, many of them have come from the county, but they brought them in and dropped them within the city limits because they're not getting the response they need from the county. So they've learned that. So yes, that in that respect, it has caused a significant challenge.
Yes, ma'am.
And they lie. They'll lie to us.
Yeah.
Have we made a final decision on what we're gonna do concerning?
No,
No, it's in the
tabled it.
No, you're talking about animal services.
Yes.
Right.
What we're budgeting right now for continued animal shelter services at $201,000 is what the budget is. My question to you guys would be, because in your letter to us, it talks about permitting, animal permitting, and how that would work. Is the animal shelter considering being the permitting? How would that being the permitting source for animals if we were to pass an ordinance that require, because that would maintain record of animals and a record of ownership for animals, as well as immunizations and all of that.
Yes, we would maintain that service.
Okay.
Yes.
But that would be a revenue source, correct? To
Correct.
the Humane Society?
Correct.
Well,
Okay.
for the city.
For the city,
the
yeah,
city.
not for the Humane Society, but for the city.
Well, I would imagine as being that service, it would be a revenue source and contract, right?
Right.
So excuse me, the way I see it, I mean, it would take a city ordinance to even make that
Sure.
a thing, right?
Yep.
So the city would have to give us rights as a humane society to even be able to implement that program. So what the proposal is that, yes, the Humane Society would participate in the enforcement of it, but it also would offset the cost if the city is collecting the money for the licensing. Does that make sense?
Yes. Mr. Carter?
Yeah, I have as we're looking here, we have budgeted 201,000. They're asking for 300,000. That we're in business with the Humane Society in two ways, right? Animal control and
Animal care.
Animal service. And is animal services? Are we calling? Is that animal care?
Animal care, yeah.
Okay, so there's somewhere else, there's another
welfare, yeah.
portion of money for animal control.
Animal control and animal. So
They're adding up as we planned it here. They're both adding up to 201,000.
that's a good question, Angie.
Yeah, so I changed the name of it. I could not recall the two services, so that's just an incorporation of what we were funding the
Okay, so-
Humane Society.
So I guess my question would be, the current contract that we have with the Humane Society that I think is set to end in October is for
September.
is for $201,000 for the year we're in right now.
Correct.
That ends then, right?
That is correct.
Okay. Well, and this is, we kind of talked about this a few months ago. I don't know that it ever felt like it was finished. The conversation kind of seemed like it sort of drifted off. Obviously, the services that we were receiving, according to the police chief, so far as I can tell, have increased in quality. But I would wonder, and I don't know even if this is correct procedure, Ms. Carr may know, but if we're looking at animal control, for instance, as a service being provided, and the folks that are currently providing it are asking for a $100,000 increase on what we're asking, is this not something that would by its nature be going out for an RFP? Would we not be? I mean, anytime anyone raises the price of something we're contracted with quite a lot, it's a good idea to get alternate prices. I know that there's not a ton of options as far as animal control sort of goes, but can we even just agree to pay them another $100,000 on a contractual basis, or do we need to go through some sort of procurement process?
Ms. Brenda, that's a good question. She's going to share the podium with you.
Okay. Let's sit down.
I think on that I would defer to Clay. I was told to prepare an RFP for animal impoundment, animal enforcement, and animal welfare with licensing administration services. And I have done the RFP. I'm waiting on Clay to review it.
So it sounds like a yes to Mr. Carter's question.
So, to directly answer the question, it would be my recommendation, if we're doing anything more than just doing a routine renewal of an option to renew, and I can't recall if in their contract there is a built-in option to renew. I think we're at the end, Mr. Johnson, he may be able to confirm this, but I think we're at the end of any renewal periods or extensions for that agreement. And that being the case, the appropriate thing to do for any service the city is going to pay a third party to do would be to do a procurement, either an RFP or a request for bids. I would suggest an RFP in this case.
So to be clear, and again, nothing at all against the Humane Society, and I really appreciate that the services have improved. Well, I guess what's on my mind is I know that the Humane Society is by and large funded quite a lot by donations and things of that nature. I think it would behoove us as a smart financial decision to do exactly that, as opposed to the situation in which we may be just agreeing to move forward with filling a gap theoretically that may be filled by fundraising that has nothing to do with us.
And let me add this: the three buckets or silos of services in the three RFPs was something that by its very nature was designed to allow for multiple organizations to apply and submit proposals for things that they may be the best equipped to serve, even though there may be other buckets of services that they don't submit on because they're not well equipped to provide services in those areas, rather than lumping it into one massive, comprehensive, perhaps unachievable RFP.
Sure. So to wrap that up and make sure I understand that correctly, we've now broken up what was kind of two things into three things for the sake of our RFP, and the Humane Society or any other organization then may say, well, we would like to try to get that work and perhaps not this third work, and mix match. There's a lot to it, and I didn't until this year really learn the difference between, like, for instance, animal welfare stuff, animal control stuff. For the sake of the city growing, evolving, and handling the animal thing better, I think that it is a really good thing that we've we've kind of broken this into 3 pieces and start to see if there's not a sort of a plug and play approach to this thing. So my suggestion would be, for the sake of the budget, that we don't alter what we've budgeted now just because we don't have any idea what we may be spending. But if we spent this much this past year and we go out for RFP, we're going to be then experiencing competitive bids. So people are going to have to try their best to fit what they know we've budgeted. That's all that I have on that at the moment.
Okay. Anybody else have any thoughts, questions?
When did the amount change from 201,000 to the 300? It's just recently?
Yeah, that's what they're asking for. So it's currently 201,000. They're asking for an
Right.
increase to 300
You're asking for
based on workload and value and what we've tasked them with. Yes, ma'am.
Right, and increased expenses.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
We have to treat every animal that comes in.
Mike.
We have to treat every animal that comes in.
That's
So we can't just bring them in and throw them in a kennel. They have to be, they have to go to the clinic and be checked out. They have to be dewormed, all their vaccinations, because we don't know if they've had vaccines or not.
That's right.
So all that has to be done before they even go into a kennel.
Okay.
That's an expense.
It's a lot of money.
Any other questions from Miss Elizabeth or Miss Debbie? Yes, sir.
I would just say, Miss Harris just said that's a lot of money. It does feel like a lot of money, but honestly, because we haven't done a bid or any of that kind of process and haven't done what we were looking at doing, it might not be.
It might be cheap.
You know what I mean? Like there's a lot of mysteries here. So I think we're on the right path to solving the mysteries, but at the moment, it's a little bit new ground. We haven't changed much in this regard in many years. So.
All right. All right. Thank you, Beth.
Thank you.
And we have the ranch rescue here as well. I spoke with the ranch rescue about cat trap neuter release because we have a cat issue. We have bag colonies that are diseased in our community, and it's gross.
It is gross.
But so I found out that the county actually had a service with where they were trapping, having them neutered, and then released. And so I asked just for them to come and present what they're doing with the county.
Yes, good evening. My name is Laura Reister. I'm the founder of the Ranch Rescue here in Lake City. And to clarify for the Humane Society, to intake an animal, it is $62, and that's without spay and neuter. So I can confirm that the cost of an intake of one single animal is very expensive, and that's before spay and neuter. So I do concur with that. So first, and thank you for the opportunity to speak this evening and for your service to Lake City. I'm here today to respectfully request that the city consider partnering and providing financial support for the ranch rescue as we work alongside with local animal welfare agencies to address the growing animal crisis within our city. Our intake so far this year has been 305, and we have trapped and neutered 157 cats. We currently have 40 cats in our care at this time, and they are all adoptable. These numbers represent more than just statistics. They represent animals that didn't enter an already overwhelmed shelter system, families who found help during difficult times, and community cats that will no longer produce countless litters. Every day we respond to abandoned kittens, injured cats, owner surrenders, in emergency situations that otherwise placed additional strain on your public resources. Through rescue, rehabilitation, adoption, sanctuary care, and TNR, we will help reduce the shelter intake, improve your public health, and provide a humane, long-term solution for an animal overpopulation. Our work directly benefits Lake City. Every animal we assist and every cat that we sterilize helps reduce future calls for services, lowers long-term costs with associated animal control, and creates a healthier and safer community for both residents, your taxpayers, and the animals. The Ranch Rescue operates entirely on donations and volunteers. Despite limited resources, we continue to grow, and we cannot continue meeting the demands without funding. An investment in the Ranch Rescue is an investment in prevention. By supporting TNR, emergency medical care, responsible owner surrenders, and community outreach, the city can help address the root cause of an animal overpopulation and a crisis that's going on in Lake City now. We are proud to be a veteran-owned, community-driven nonprofit committed to serving Lake City with compassion, accountability, and transparency. We look forward to continuing to work along the local agencies to create sustainable, humane solutions for our community. I respectfully ask the City Council to consider including funding for the Ranch Rescue in this year's budget, so together we can continue protecting both the animals and Lake City.
Thank you. Any questions? Yes, sir, Mr. Jernigan.
Yes, sir. I got a question. Where are you located?
We're off of Southwest Walter Avenue in Lake City, and we do own our property.
Southwest. Is that
We're by the Belmont Academy.
Is that in the county or the city?
It's the county.
Okay.
But we are serving both city and county calls at this time. There are no TNR programs within your city or your county.
Yes. Does the county give you funding or any?
At this time, I'm a vendor, so we receive $100 per cat.
Say that again, ma'am.
I'm a vendor with the county, and I receive $100 per cat.
You're a vendor with the county, and every cat you get in, you get $100 for that cat?
Yes.
Okay. I have no question.
Thank you, Mr. Jernigan. Mr. Carter?
Some of it may be in here. This particular packet here is new to me. How many employees do you guys have?
Excuse me?
How many employees do you have?
We have 0 employees.
Okay, so it's you?
It's me. And volunteers. I pay no salaries.
Okay, okay, gotcha. So you've got
Volunteers, yes, sir.
So no paid employees at all?
No, sir.
Okay.
What does the $100 cover for one cat?
I removed the cat from the property, and it's TNR'd, and it can either be returned back to the property or we find a barn cat program for that individual.
So where do you house it until you find a program?
I have a facility.
And TNR is just the animal sterilized, so it doesn't continue to breed continuously.
The adoptable cats remain in our care. Kittens are adopted out. Those who are friendly, perhaps dumped animals aren't necessarily a feral cat, nor were they born outside, but they're friendly. Those cats are adopted out. We average about 800 adoptions a year.
Yes, sir, Mr.
I'm sorry.
Mr. Carter and then Ms. Young.
How long have you been a vendor for the county?
The last 30 days.
Okay, so a little new. How long have you guys been around?
We've lived in Columbia County for 1 year.
Okay. And when you came here, you started the Ranch Rescue, so you've been operating in this area?
We're not new to rescue. We're new to Columbia County.
Okay.
Ms. Young?
So right now you're only servicing Columbia County?
No, ma'am. We take all of the calls that are redirected from the Humane Society.
I didn't understand that.
We take redirected phone calls from the Humane Society.
Oh. Why you ain't been by my house?
Really, Carter?
I got a question.
Yes, sir, Mr. Jernigan.
And how much are you requesting?
We didn't have a set limit.
Oh.
You know, okay. So I'm just confused. I don't understand.
Yeah.
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
I lost it for a second when she'd asked the question, but I was going to ask, do you guys have a particular number you're asking for? I don't know.
If it's strictly going to be TNR services, we would be requesting $20,000.
And that would cover?
That would cover approximately 200 cats.
would that put a dent in the? There's a lot of, but would that go towards solving the issue? Because the cat problem is a problem.
You're never going to solve it, but one cat can have 4 litters a year. So if you can get a majority from, we try to do high volume locations at a time. And mostly it's your businesses that are saying, they're fed up with the cats. You've got a lot of your elderly people that have taken in cats and they can't afford to get them fixed. They can't afford to feed them, and they don't have a shelter that will accept them. So they just keep reproducing.
They spill over onto my property all the time.
I'm sorry. It's all a little novel to me, so I'm just kind of learning stuff. So right now you're a vendor with the county, and if somebody calls about a cat, you show up, and the county pays you $100 per cat you take,
Yes.
spay or neuter, and release.
With
right?
documentation, correct.
Okay, and so you provide them some sort of like proof of cat?
Yes, all of our surgeries are performed, Dr. Van at North Florida Animal Rescue.
Okay. And you're doing this right now?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
We're at 157 cats.
Is the county only paying you for cats that are inside the county, outside the city limits?
Yes, sir. County only.
County only.
I just
Okay.
asked that question.
There've been a lot of questions.
Well,
I
I'm
missed it.
saying, I got a
I'm
different
only paid for county cats. I get city calls every day, and city cats are done. So we don't just respond to county, we respond to city and county.
You say you get the city cats when the Humane Society don't get them?
Yes. Your Humane Society doesn't trap. Your Humane Society doesn't TNR. Your Humane Society will not perform a TNR surgery, even though it's posted on their website that they have a TNR program and that they TNR. They do not.
Mr. Carter.
Well, my next question was going to be, what exactly are Humane Society redirected calls? Is it literally a system that redirects from them to you whenever, or do they send? What does that mean?
My number is provided. Your number has been provided to us by Lake City Humane Society.
Okay.
And they have been screenshotted and forwarded to the appropriate people.
So your center actually get about 200 cats per year.
We adopt out 800. My normal TNR is 100 a month, but in West Palm Beach, that service is free. Here, we're paying $100 per cat. So right now, I've done 157 cats out of my pocket. I did just receive a Florida Animal Friend grant for $15,000. That will cover about 150 cats. If the city would do another $20,000, that's another, 200 cats. And we're constantly fundraising. We have a TNR, sponsor a TNR kitty. So every day we're doing the work, but we're boots on the ground.
That's a lot of cats.
There's a lot of cats. There's too many cats. Yes, ma'am.
So you said $15,000. How many cats?
It'll cover 150 cats.
50 cats. And how much is 20,000 gonna do?
It's $100 per cat for me to spay and neuter them.
The math don't add up. That math don't add. That math don't do. What am I missing?
It's the same correlation. It's $100 a cat.
100 times 20.
200. 100 times 200 is 20,000.
I can't process. I'm in a.
It is
space where
late.
I just can't process the whole ordeal.
Thank you, Ms. Yes, sir.
With all the other moving parts that we just talked about, as far as what we may or may not do with our animal services, I personally am not necessarily comfortable budgeting money for this specific thing right
Sure.
now. Not to say that it's something we shouldn't revisit, hopefully within the next 6 months as we go through the process with everything else. That's my thoughts.
I say let's come back.
Any other? Yeah. Thank you, Mr. Sir. We don't have anybody else from the community to speak to public assistance, but sounds like there's some things in fluctuation. What do you need from us, Angela?
So we have one department that there's no changes that we can go ahead and hit up. If you would like to start off with the growth management department tomorrow at 6 o'clock. We can do that, or if you want to continue and push on, we can.
No, I think 9 p.m. is good. Because on tonight's docket we still had growth management, CRA, airport, fire, and debt service. Right?
Yeah,
That finishes us out.
debt service and all that won't take any time, so we can. I believe we can get through that fairly quickly tomorrow. So
Okay,
and
very good.
utilities usually doesn't take that long either.
Okay,
So.
and then if needed, we can finalize these conversations on Thursday.
That's correct.
Okay. Because we will need to revisit this at some point to get a final
Yes,
amount based on conversations.
Absolutely.
All right.
Absolutely.
All right. That's it for tonight, folks. Thank you all for being with us this
Yes,
long.
thank you.